At last night's CNN presidential debate.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
Fox's Grady Trimble has the latest from Atlanta, Georgia.
There was substantive policy discussion on the economy, the border, the wars in Israel and Gaza, but all of that is being overshadowed today because President Biden failed at his primary objective last night, which was to allay concerns that he is too old for another 4 years. So about halfway through the debate, we started hearing from Biden's campaign that he was sick as a way to sort of explain his hoarse voice and what we were witnessing. But by the end of the night, people in the Democratic Party were scrambling, trying to figure out what to do after that.
Now, Vice President Kamala Harris said the president had a slow start but a strong finish. And while the president stumbled, his campaign, with a news release this morning, highlighted what they say were 50 of Trump's lies.
A campaign email this morning reads, all 50 of Trump's lies, 16 more lies than felonies, 48 more lies than impeachments. Now, this was their strategy even ahead of the debate last night. They issued a pre-debate memo with a list of, quote, important Trump lies to look out for. And this is what First Lady Jill Biden said at a watch party right after the debate.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts.
At a Waffle House on his way to the airport, the president said that he had a sore throat.
That's Fox's Jackie Heinrich reporting from the White House. America is listening to Fox News.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-653-1188. 800-653-1188.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Through our Friday afternoon, 92 with a mix of clouds and sunshine. I'll keep a chance of a spot storm. Tonight, clouds, scattered showers and thunderstorms after midnight. 78 for the low. Saturday, scattered showers and thunderstorms, some strong. Anytime Saturday. Otherwise, partly sunny skies, warm and humid, 94. Sunday, sunny and wonderful, 83. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Honesty, integrity, humility, purpose. We're looking for people that share these values. As an officer in the Springfield, Missouri Police Department, you'll train in a state-of-the-art facility, learn special skills, and most importantly, learn that being humble through it all builds a better community. Our next training academy starts soon. Work hard and dedicate yourself to the craft, and I promise you'll have some amazing opportunities. Visit gospd.com for more information. That's gospd.com. Brought to you by the Springfield, Missouri Police Department.
Before you sell your home, consider your options. Mark Cox here, and for years now I've been telling you about St. Louis real estate expert Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is an expert in selling homes for the most money because she has the guarantees, the buyers, and different solutions for every type of seller. She recently provided a family multiple cash offers in minutes so they could move quickly with no showings, no costly repairs, and no hassles. Now, not everyone's looking for multiple cash offers. That's why Gloria will sell your home at your agreed upon price or she'll buy it. Her name says it all, Your Home Sold Guaranteed. Regardless of whether you're looking for multiple cash offers or you want to utilize her Guaranteed Sold program to ensure you get the most money possible. Here's your next step. Call Gloria at 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Download the free Upside app and earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do?
Oh my gosh, Jill Biden.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-huh.
What, when we talked about setting those standards low enough to be achievable, that's not even the best way to articulate the debate last night. He didn't answer every question. He just spoke after every question.
Yeah, I mean, he made noises. I wouldn't say spoke.
Speaking. Molly's 3. She speaks. I got to listen hard. I got to pay attention to what she's trying to get through to me. She might want me to tickle her. She might want to eat a pickle. I got to pay attention to know the difference. It matters. Welcome to the Annie Fry Show. Guys, that was not good for Joe Biden. The YouTube live chat poll is one we've asked before. Is Joe Biden the nominee on the November 5th ballot? Even in the last hour, there has been a report that Barack Obama and Ron Klain are going to have a sit-down conversation with Joe Biden. What are they going to talk about? I don't know. Summer plans?
Yeah, probably about that golf comment he made.
They were probably telling him about a farm they've got upstate.
I can't remember who put it out there last night, but somebody said, I think they gave Joe Biden the placebo. I don't want to take credit for it. I think I retweeted it or something because it made me laugh out loud when I saw it. Man, it's not time to gloat because what everybody knows today, which if you didn't know it yesterday, that's your own darn fault. What everybody knows today is not good for the country. Is it good for Donald Trump? In the polls, I think we'll find out. Probably yes. I go back to the time where Donald Trump said at that rally in 2020, can you imagine how embarrassing it'd be if I lose to this guy? Yeah, we have 3.5 years of context of how embarrassing it's been since Donald Trump hasn't been the president. There's so many what ifs to think about right now. What if Donald Trump would have won in 2020? What would the Democrats be doing right now? What moment in time would we be right now? Is Donald Trump actually positioned to be more effective in his second term now than he was in 2020? I think undoubtedly, yes. Would I like to have these 3.5 years back from Joe Biden? Also, yes. It's been very, very bad. But I think that the biggest takeaway from last night, there's two. The first one is that Dr. Jill Biden is the absolute worst wife in America. You could make the argument that Jill Biden should be pulling Joe back and shouldn't be allowing him to go out and do all these things, and that Jill's been the one pushing. And, there's a lot of assumption behind that. I don't really know. I mean, everybody else is pushing Joe around and telling Joe Biden what to do. Why in the world would his wife not be doing it? Everybody else is doing it on the world stage. President, come this way. President, we're going to go that way. Grabbing him by the arm, ushering him off the stage. Everybody in Joe Biden's life is telling him what to do. Just ask him. He says that all the time. I'm going to get in trouble if I do this. I'm going to get in trouble if I say that. He doesn't even really do that as much anymore because he's not put in positions to go off script ever. Kevin McCarthy has said previously and was reiterating today on Fox News that when Kevin McCarthy was the Speaker of the House and he'd sit down in conversations with Joe Biden, all Kevin McCarthy would do is figure out some way to get him off of his cards. And if it got off the cards, it was Joe Biden was incapable of having a conversation. If you are shocked after last night, where have you been? The only thing that is moderately shocking post-debate is the complete and total oh crap moment that the CNNs and the MSNBCs and the punditry out there have had, and that they decided, I can't participate in this ruse anymore. Because there's nothing that Joe Biden did last night that he hasn't done a million times in shorter context, in more controlled settings elsewhere. And you have to remember this very particular point. Joe Biden is the one who threw out, I'll debate you. What did he say? Make
my day, pal.
Make my day, pal? And Trump was like, okay. All right. When? Where? Let's go. The smartest move that Donald Trump did was to say yes to that because Donald Trump initially said, hey, Joe Biden, I'll debate you anywhere, anytime. You name the terms, I'm there. And Trump made good on that. They said, we're going to do it on CNN. And Trump said, okay. Well, it's going to be Jake Tapper and Dana Bash. All right. We're not going to even have an audience there. That's fine. We're going to mute your mic. Okay. Smart move, Donald Trump. Really, really dumb move, Joe Biden. What were you thinking? Oh. Sorry. It's a very complicated question. Joe Biden threw down the gauntlet. He's the one who took this and pushed it into existence. Donald Trump made a flippant challenge, which was a smart political move that the president of the United States, who has the bully pulpit of the office of the president to convey your message, didn't have to take up Donald Trump on this. But Joe Biden knows that he's getting it handed to him in the polls, so he had to change the game. I'll debate you. Make my day, pal, was the challenge. And Trump goes, okay. And it was a disaster last night. I refuse to believe that the powers that be didn't expect last night to happen. We've said on this show many, many, many times that there is a version of Joe Biden that they allow us to see. What are they not allowing us to see? And I think last night they said, let them see it. I do not believe that Joe Biden is the intended nominee. I mean, if they're going to take this all the way to the 25th Amendment, they're going to have to do that if Jill Biden's got her grip on this thing so incredibly tight. When Jill Biden went out on stage, while the entire leftist-leaning media was in full-on crisis mode meltdown about how much of a disaster it is, and they're all like, Kamala's, not so bad, which was really the resounding result. Like, Kamala? And everyone's like, yeah. While that's all happening, Jill Biden is congratulating Joe Biden at a post-debate rally saying, "You answered all the questions! Yeah! 4 more years!" And Joe Biden is standing up there like the robot that he is. I mean, watch him. Look at her. And she is talking to him like he's a toddler who pooped in the toilet. Well, I didn't do that on purpose. That was not intentional. That was a coincidence. I speak this language. This is a portion of my life that I have gone through before, but that I am in one time. I'm not going to name the person. It's not one of my children, so I'm going to take them off of the table. So this is not about them. But there was a child that is near and dear to me in my life who, when they finally pooped in the toilet, I said, I will take you to go bowling if you poop in the toilet, because we needed to get to that point for this kiddo. And we had a poopy in the toilet bowling party the day that happened. We celebrated big. This is the level with which this First Lady is talking to the President of the United States. You answered all the questions. And then she says to the crowd, and what did Donald Trump do? And then she rears back and she throws her pointer finger out into the crowd and says, he lied. And then, oh my gosh, it's the most cringeworthy thing ever was the debate. But then Jill's like, hold my beer. And she goes out there and she is delivering with all of the confidence that everybody behind her is going to be, everybody in the media is going to cover it and be like, Jill is so on it. Jill has nailed this. Way to go. This is the First Lady we need. She's the worst wife in America. And what Joe Biden did last night is what we've always known about Joe Biden. This should not be a surprise to you. The surprise here is that they let him do it. And if they let him do it, I think they're done watching him do it. We are at the precipice of something incredible in American history in the next few months leading up to November 5th. And 97.1 is going to be the place to watch it happen. Naturally, Joe Biden is doing a rally right now in North Carolina the day after whatever that was at the debate. Let's listen in and see what Joe Biden has to say at this North Carolina debate.
Thank you. Thank you, North Carolina. I'm going to get in trouble with my mom looking down in heaven if I don't say, please excuse my back. I apologize. I've got an awful lot. It's good knowing you have my back. Eric, thanks for that introduction. We had a wonderful time spending time with your sons, Christian and Carter. They're going to grow up to be incredible young men. You would have been really impressed the way they talked about their dad, how informed they were about what was going on. I was truly impressed. And I ate 2 hamburgers. And a special thanks to Roy and Kristen Cooper. Roy, you've been a great governor. Which makes it all the more important that North Carolina elected a great governor to replace you, Josh Stein. And when I'm reelected again with your help, I want you to know that I'm not promising not to take Roy away from North Carolina. Whether he'll come or not, I don't know. And thanks to all the state and local leaders here today, the great musicians and entertainers who performed earlier. Folks, let me tell you why I'm here in North Carolina. I'm here for what? okay. That's okay. I'm here in North Carolina for one reason, because I intend to win this state in November. Are you going to see that? I think we are. And Roy's right. We win here, we win the election. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to stand up for the women of America. We're going to restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land. We're going to stand up for the right to vote. We're going to stand up for Medicare and Social Security. We're going to fight for child care, paid leave, and elder care. We're going to keep lowering the cost of prescription drugs, not just for seniors, but for every single American. We're going to keep protecting the Affordable Care Act, which is why more than 40 million Americans have health insurance today. They didn't before.
So let's monitor this. Brad, keep this in your ear. And if he mentions anything about the debate last night, I'd like to know about it. In my mind, this is what you really come into Wiggins America for. Like, you tell us a story, and Brad and I are like, hooray! And then you just go to the next story.
The problem is it never goes that way. You guys don't play your part.
Mm-hmm. You never told us. You
Well,
never
now
put
you know.
it on the teleprompter that I read from every day.
Well, I'll write the whole script for Wiggins America on that whiteboard right there.
Man, as much as I would like to listen to more Joe Biden today, we've had a huge, huge day at the Supreme Court, too. There's a huge January 6th ruling that came down that has to do with obstruction, and it's not what the DOJ wanted to have happen. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. I have been specifically requested by multiple people to open the phone lines today. So I think we're going to do that at 1:05. So if you want to weigh in on the debate last night, I'll get through as many as I can. You got to call in and be quick and snappy, because I want to get your voice on here instead of just me talking to one person for the whole segment. So at 1:05, let's take some phone calls. So prepare yourself for that. You can't call now, but if you want to write it down, 314-241-9797. We'll open those phone lines. At the end of the 12 o'clock hour, you can get in line for a 1:05 segment of taking calls. At 1:25, we're going to talk to John Roderick, who is with Jerry's Cafeteria in Granite City, Illinois. And Jerry's Cafeteria, I'd love to know if anybody listening has been to Jerry's Cafeteria. Please, if you have, let me know in the YouTube live chat. Jerry's Cafeteria is dealing with the effects of the economy. And John's going to come in and he's going to talk about the experience there, Granite City specifically, with the scaling back of everything going on at the steel mill is really hurting this cafeteria, but it's bigger than that. And we're going to talk to a local business owner, small business owner, about what they've been experiencing right here in Granite City, Illinois. John's going to tell us his story. But when we come back, Joe DeVito is going to come hang out with us a little bit. And interesting opportunity to hear what Joe DeVito, very funny comedian, has to say about last night, about what happens next. Joe Biden, Donald Trump, the whole bit. So stick around. Joe DeVito is going to be at the streets of St. Charles. You can get your tickets, but you need to hurry. Oh gosh, guys, this is like the perfect nightcap to a debate last night. You go tonight to see Joe DeVito at the streets of St. Charles Funny Bone, and you're going to be riding high. I'm telling you what, you're going to have a great time, and you're going to enjoy yourself, and you're going to laugh so hard. Get your tickets before they're gone, though. STLFunnyBone.com for Joe DeVito tonight at 7:30 and 9:30 at the Funny Bone, but he's in here next, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
You know how I feel.
Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Blossom on a tree. You know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good.
Hello, Mike Carter here. I wonder if you knew that after the purchase of the Louisiana Territory in 1804, a formal three-flag ceremony was held in St. Louis to mark the transfer. the Spanish flag lowered and the French tricolor raised. That in turn was lowered the next day and the flag of the young Republic of the United States stood tall. I'm Mike Carter of Carter Law Offices here, and at that moment the people living here went from being subjects to being citizens of a great free nation. Jump ahead 220 years to what we have become, and over 6 million men, women, and children now call Missouri home. Our largest cities are an economic powerhouse, and our small towns and family farms remain the heart of the nation. A friend wrote me one time at Carter Law Offices, "Hey, Mike Carter, why don't Missouri residents show their pride by flying our state flag more often like the folks in Texas?" I was like, that's a really great idea. And I was thinking, maybe anybody who's listening to this, if you want to send me an email at mike@carterlegal.com with your name and address if you're okay doing so, and I'll send you a free state flag, and you can hang it out on your front porch and show everybody you're as proud of Missouri as I am.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aw, he just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Nos vamos a divertir mucho.
And that means we're going to have a lot of fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Get in your comfort zone with double carrier cool cash rebates up to $4,200 and 0% financing up to 72 months on a new HVAC system. For details and a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
The National Memorial of Military Ascent is on a mission to create a first-class Veterans Memorial Complex in Grafton, Illinois. Sue Thomas here. Conservatives Care is honoring our veterans. Learn more at 971talk.com/care.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle.
This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people. And much quicker than you'd even believe.
Learn Del's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2024. Save 60%. Code 2024. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Joe DeVito is in the house with us, writer, comedian, regular panelist, as you know, on Fox News' Gutfeld. And he is here in St. Louis to entertain you at the Funny Bone Streets of St. Charles tonight at 7:30 and 9:30, Saturday at 7 and 9. STLFunnyBone.com for tickets. Go get them before they are gone. Good to see you, Joe. Thanks for coming back.
Good to be here. What a night we had last night, huh?
Isn't it weird the Super Bowls that we have?
It's tragic in a way.
It is. But when you're around like-minded nerds, you're like secretly high-fiving.
It's good because usually by myself when I watch an event like that debate, I would laugh and say, oh, imagine if this was really happening. But yeah.
Here we are.
Wow. I was listening to you earlier, the idea that this is what Biden asked for, make my day.
Pal.
Yeah.
Pal.
Unless that day was in 1972, it didn't go off his plan.
Yeah. I mean, isn't Pal your first clue that he's not today?
Yeah, I don't know. Did they have a meeting where they said, "Bucko, it's too intense"?
That was the first thing, and pal is what we made it more current to. Can we do something real quick? Just totally off the cuff. Let's just listen in to right now on Fox News because Joe Biden is speaking at his post-game rally. They're still chanting 4 more years. He looks very confused. He looks like 4 more years of what?
We've come a long way. We've come a long way from the mess that Donald Trump left us. We came out of the pandemic. We're a long way from where Donald Trump telling us to inject bleach in our skin.
Never said it.
That
Never
COVID is
did.
not that
And
dangerous.
actually might help, Joe.
Today we have the strongest economy in the world without exception. 15 million new jobs.
I mean, okay, enough. I mean, the amount, literally all out of context lies.
Sure. Although he looks and sounds better here than he did last night. So they did whatever they gave him's kicking in late. They should have given the fast acting stem cells. That's what he needs.
I read on Twitter last night, and I couldn't put Twitter down last night.
It's good stuff.
It was so good. Someone said I think they gave him the placebo. What were they doing at Camp David for a week?
Yeah, that week really paid off.
What were they
sequestering.
doing?
I don't know. Was he floating around in a tub of virgin's blood, hoping that it would penetrate the membrane to give him a little extra?
I don't know, Ryan. His mic's not.
No, he was just canoeing and stuff.
Canoeing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like normal camp.
Like crafts.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. Whatever they did to him, don't do it to me when I'm 81.
They shouldn't be doing this to him when he's 81.
Should have been practicing plug pulling
No.
for this.
Jill Biden has to be the worst wife in America.
She is. She makes Lorena Bobbitt look like a good wife.
And I know what she did.
Yes. Because at least after they were able to reattach his manhood.
Mm-hmm.
But with Joe, it's so humiliating. Like you were mentioning, it's the way you talk to a child or a pet. I don't know. Did she palm a treat into his mouth when he was done?
Here you go.
What I liked was when she said to the fellow toddlers, "And what did Donald Trump do?"
Yeah.
It was such a beating. They all yelled different things because they were like, "Hey."
They panicked.
There's probably some people like, "Who won?" Oh, I mean, he lied. He lied.
Did you see the Democrats' X account tweeted out the clear winner of tonight's debate or something? And it's a picture of Joe Biden, which I don't know how old it is, but it didn't look like Joe Biden from last night.
No.
But I mean, the dissonance that takes place in politics today, I mean, you work in the news media, but you also are a man of the people and you're doing comedy shows all across the country. So you're talking to real people. Like, who's believing this BS?
I don't know. This is it. Now it's on the level of whoever was operating the PA system in Jonestown, saying like, "Well, but the sound's crystal clear. You got to focus on the positives." I mean, it's Flavor Aid. It's generic. You saved a couple of bucks. So whoever is still pushing this, I think it's interesting the neck snapping whiplash of the people who were a day ago calling it right wing misinformation, and now Joe's got to go. Time for him to step down. Time for him to step down was 10 years ago.
Right. He shouldn't have even been the nominee. He shouldn't have been running. I mean, that's kind of where I am today. Like the people who are in meltdown about like, this is just, Joe Biden's a good man. He has a good heart. And this is so sad for me to see him this way because I know he cares so much. But this is not new information.
Yeah.
Joe Biden last night is not brand new information. If you're pretending to be shocked today, now you're trying to save your butt.
Absolutely. This is not okay. Nothing that happens with Joe Biden can have the word sudden attached to it.
There's not a lot of quick.
Yeah, not a lot of quick motions, not a lot of catching the eye of.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We're in a new realm after last night's debate. We're in a new category of going forward with this because you really honestly, even as a Democrat, if you say he did a great job, you're living in fantasy land.
Right.
So the question is what happens next, because it's not like they got a hot bench.
Everyone says that the Democrats can't skip over Kamala. I think that everything that people say cannot be done, I think everything can be done.
Yeah.
We are so far past the line of, that's unprecedented. This has never happened. Like, this is all unprecedented. Yeah. We have never chartered these territories before.
Who could be the person to say, well, it would be an impropriety at this point? A friend of mine texted me and said Hillary's going to make her move.
I think it's in the realm of possibility.
It's not. You can't say that's crazy talk because somehow Kamala has to be removed. And if there's anyone with a proven track record of murdering people in her way, it's Hillary Clinton.
Isn't it weird that you can make? I mean, the funniest jokes have some root in comedy or in truth, I should say.
Yeah.
But like we can at the same time make jokes about Hillary's number.
Yes.
And also the fact that the current president of the United States, we still don't know if he's publicly pooped his pants.
Oh, I know what side of the ledger I put my money on with that. Let's have a talk with the Pope about that. Even the Pope was like, "Can we get me in the Pope-mobile and roll the windows up?" Because I think a mortal sin was just.
It's a wild time to be alive and to be in the news. Like some people will say to me, coming up on a debate, they're like, "Annie, are you excited about Thursday night? Are you nervous?" I'm like, I'm not debating. I mean, I've been nervous for my country for 3.5 years, maybe even longer. You're up close, you're up front, you're paying attention to the day-to-day. How much less do you think that the average voter is paying than someone like you who's always in the thick of it?
Well, you guys are in the news business. What I do is when I'm done with my work for Gutfeld on Friday afternoon, I try not to look at the news again until Monday morning because I will lose my mind.
Yeah.
Because there's ways of looking. I try not to be too negative. And I have to be honest, I'm pretty jazzed after last night, especially we've got the January 6th decision with that and the Chevron decision, which I don't quite understand it. I confuse it with
Don't you just wait if Shannon Bream is excited or not?
There's some people who I can trust. That's what I do.
I'm just like, but what did Shannon Bream say?
Sometimes when I'm in the office at Fox, I'll say to someone, "So what do you think?" That's my way of saying, I'm stupid. So can you, when people say...
are they kind to you when you say that?
They are very kind to me because I sit next to the snack basket, and this is what I do at Fox News. This is the...
You always got to get your corner.
Well, this is the animalistic level that I work on, that someone walks by and I say, "Oh, what snack do you like?" I'm not making this up. And then when they tell me, I hoard them. So when they come back to the snack basket, I say, "Oh, what are you looking for?" "Oh, they're out of Kind bars." I'm like, "Oh," and I act like I'm hooking them up. I just stole them before you got there.
You're a dealer.
But that's the way, like, Harris Faulkner's like, "You're so sweet." And I'm like, "You're damn right I am, Harris Faulkner."
What is Harris Faulkner's treat?
She likes the, I think it's the Kind bars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I believe
and Judge Janine's the Oreos. And
I believe that.
There have been times assistants have come running down the hallway like, "Does anyone have any Swedish fish?" The judge is freaking out. And I'm like, "Let me see what I have in my drawer here."
Well, now we're getting into the details that people want to know.
Shut up. I don't want to.
The Swedish fish rumor is out.
Yeah.
Joe DeVito's in St. Louis again. See, I mean, when you say that you say, "So what does this mean?" and you're implying that you're stupid, and that's how you say it. Every expert that I have on, I'm like, I'm not going to be the radio show host who pretends to have passed the bar and to understand what this is. It's like, explain this to me in the simplest terms. Talk to me like I'm Joe Biden.
Yeah. Well, I found that I would say to people, explain it to me like I'm a 6-year-old, and then I would record that and I would take it to a 6-year-old and then have them explain it to me. So
break
it had
this
to be
down.
Filtered through many levels of lack of mental acuity there. But yeah, I don't know. How do you guys feel? I feel like maybe it's going to happen because Trump, like you said, he agreed to all of their terms. He went in with a hand tied behind his back. And I thought he was on point. Mm-hmm. He didn't go off on any tangents. He stuck to the script. And this was a way for him to say what he had to say to the American people because they've done everything they could to try and stifle him. And Joe, look, I'm looking at him now the way he's wandering around. This is just, if he wasn't such a jerk, I'd say it was cruelty.
You think he's a jerk?
Yeah, he always has been. If you look at his track record, he's always been a blowhard. I don't know if the difference is now that when he goes into his fantastical stories, he believes them. I think he's in a post-belief realm. He's almost like a goldfish. Like, you wouldn't, if you were to get into an argument with a goldfish, you wouldn't say, "But remember when you said," because
there's just some things you accept.
Yeah, so I think Trump pulled it off.
It's so smart for you to point that out because the story today is Joe Biden.
Yeah,
and when we were setting up what we expected to happen, what we wanted to happen yesterday, my prayer was that like the fantasy situation was that Donald Trump uses his charm to bring people in. But my prayer was that he doesn't get in the way of Joe Biden exposing Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it.
He didn't. That line where he said, I don't know what he was saying at the end there, and neither does he.
That's what everybody was thinking.
It's perfect encapsulation because Biden just trails. It's bad enough when you trail off, but when you started off nonsensical, you've got nowhere to go. He started off with nonsense and then ended with mumbling. That's not a powerful position.
Yeah, one time when he was wandering through the wilderness to try to make a point, I think his mic drop moment was like, we're going to end Medicare or something like that. It was
he said he beat Medicare.
He beat Medicare.
That's great. Well, for him, a mic drop moment is literally him dropping the microphone because he's got a neurological problem.
Oh, you think Joe Biden's the guy in November? It's really hard to replace him. But if it's a sure loss, why would you not try? It's the Hail Mary.
Again, I have to elevate stupidity over multi-level chess every time because I can't see what a smart plan would be. Now, I guess if you want a game plan, you could think, what would a moron do? And then I think you start to figure out a little bit more what goes on in politics. But I don't see how you get rid of who could be the first black female president. Does that mean, well, then you go with Michelle Obama? I don't think Michelle Obama wants this job. She's got a pretty good life. They get paid to release a podcast every 5 years or whatever it is, the scam they have.
How do we get that gig?
That's good. Then you got to talk to Harry and Meghan about that. But
I'll pass.
I don't know who it could be. I don't think it's Newsom is too oily, and you could just say California. Do you want to be like California? And I think enough people would say no. So maybe it's Hillary again.
That when she came out at the Tonys,
yeah,
I said this on the air and took a little hate from it, but she looked great for Hillary. I mean, I thought she looked great, and she gave her delivery the way she does her Hillary thing. But I'm not looking at a Hillary Trump rematch thinking Trump's got it in the bag. Not like if it were Biden or Kamala.
I think what works in the favor of whoever else they put in is that people haven't gotten sick of them yet. And we're pretty sick of listening to Biden versus Trump. Let's be honest; it's exhausting. I don't know. I think you're right. Hillary looked okay. Have you seen the cover of her book? With that
Hillary.
photo.
That is not Hillary.
Each cover, they actually smear a glob of Vaseline on the photo so it gets hazier and more.
I saw that, and I'm like, this isn't even close to legit. Listen, I know what my face looks like before I put makeup on and what it looks like after I put makeup on. That was a different jawline. That was different skin.
Oh.
It was different hair. It was different face shape. That was
I mean, there's airbrushing, and then there's get me someone who repaints the hood of a Camaro with an airbrush, and just let them blast away. Yeah. I mean, was the photo airbrushed from 30 feet away? I mean, I don't know what digital program does that. So, but yeah, I mean, one thing in Hillary's favor, she's a complete sociopath, so she's not going to be thrown off by any sense of loyalty to anything besides herself.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, she also, when she was running against Trump, did that face plant on the streets of Lower Manhattan.
September 11th.
Yeah. Oh, they said, she just was dehydrated. I remember they threw her in that van. I've seen abductions go off smoother than that. So they tossed her in there like it was a CrossFit event. They just grabbed her. That was grab him by the caftan, and they chucked her in there.
Are you a CrossFit guy?
No, I'm just fighting the good fight as best I can.
Yeah.
I totally plan on people finding me buried under a barbell in my apartment in my living room.
And you're like, hey, I tried.
I say, look. He died doing what he loved, being antisocial.
CrossFit's so funny. It's just like, you're in or you're out.
Sure. What's nice about CrossFit is, that may be the first time someone's ever had to be asked if they do CrossFit, because usually they lead with that.
True.
Those kipping pull-ups. You ever see the kipping pull-ups?
No.
It looks like they're having a seizure with their hands lashed to the bar.
As you can imagine. Not a CrossFitter.
CrossFit, I thought it was interesting, but then I started to watch the competitions, and you can see, here's the year when they stopped drug testing. The women come in, they're wearing the sports bras, and they have the full Ninja Turtle abs.
Yeah.
Like remember the Iron Sheik had those abs? Yeah. Where it's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much growth hormone you're taking that you've got soap bar abs that protrude over your Your belly line is fancy.
I know, but like CrossFitters, like we all want to look like them,
Yeah.
but we're just not that committed.
I can't live a lifestyle talking about what box I go to. That's what they call the gym. What box do you go to? What do you?
I go to the YMCA. That's where I go, and I'm very happy there.
Yeah, I have squat stands in my living room. I moved the couch. I'm already severely mentally ill enough.
Can you stay? Can you stick around for one more
Of course
segment?
I'll hang out. It's fun.
All right. The Bee or Not the Bee, when we come back, stories that are from the Babylon Bee or actually real headlines that are out there in the world. Which are they? We'll guess with Ryan Wiggins and Wiggins America when we come back. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Mike Carter here. Too often we lose sight of how fortunate we are to live in Missouri. When I travel out of state on business, people say, Mike Carter, what's so special about Missouri? Well, let's start with the mighty Mississippi and Missouri rivers traversing the state. They were the superhighways of the day, used by French fur trappers and traders. Later, American settlers like Daniel Boone and waves of pioneers drove their teams and wagons along the Boonslick Trail he blazed. Carter Law Offices, right now, founded by me, Mike Carter, started and is on Boonslick Trail, near where those intrepid settlers crossed the Missouri to harness the land. Rich soils and generations of farm families like my own grandparents made Missouri the breadbasket of America. Drive a few minutes outside our cities and towns, and you'll find yourself passing miles and miles of undulating wheat and corn, farms and ranches that feed our nation. I'm Mike Carter, and I'm proud to live and work in the Show Me State, a place God blessed just a little bit more. Go to MikeCarter.com to see more about our great state of Missouri.
It's time to plan that outdoor project for this summer, and Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the only company you need to talk to. 636-532-4054 or chesterfieldfence.com. If you call them right now, you mention my name, Mark Cox, you'll get a special discount for the month of June. You'll get 20% off an installed outdoor project with Chesterfield Fence and Deck. That is a great deal. If you've got their sign in your yard, it's a sign you have the very best. Locally owned and operated for 56 years under the same ownership. A Better Business Bureau Torch Award winner, so you know you're working with a great company. Whether it's an outdoor sunroom, a screen room, a pergola, patios, they can even do retaining walls. And, of course, they do fences and decks, and such a great job. ChesterfieldFence.com or 636-532-4054. Again, ChesterfieldFence.com or 636-532-4054.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-699-1059. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-699-1059. That's 800-699-1059.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
Well, we have a YouTube live chat poll every day. Today is Joe Biden the Democrat nominee on November 5th. You might recognize this question from many times before. However, it just keeps changing. And even I'm beginning to soften on my position a little bit here. So is Joe Biden the Democrat nominee on November 5th? Let us know. It's the YouTube live chat poll of the day. 12:49. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
We're here to help you get registered to vote, whether you're in Missouri or Illinois. Democracy 2024 on 97.1 FM Talk. If you need help getting registered, go to 971talk.com/vote.
in studio with us right now. We've been having a great conversation with him. You can check out Joe DeVito in person at the Funny Bone Streets of St. Charles tonight at 7:30 and 9:30, and tomorrow 7 and 9 p.m. STLFunnyBone.com. STLFunnyBone.com. Go check out the website and reserve your tickets right now. Report back to me about how much fun you had. And for all of you people who don't think you're comedy show people, you're wrong, because I thought the same thing, and then I went to a comedy show, and I thought, when do I get to go back to one of those? So get your tickets. Don't delay. It'll be a great time. Have a great dinner at the Streets of St. Charles, and then take in a great show. Joe, there is not a shortage of content to talk about.
I would like a shortage of content.
How much of your set is politically based?
It's weird. I don't do a ton of political material, but now with the exposure on Gutfeld, that my people are coming, so it's kind of nice. But I really don't like. I feel when you come to a comedy show, I want as many people to have a good time and laugh.
You don't want to isolate people.
Yeah, but I do. I rip on the president because he's supposedly the leader,
he's fair
most
game.
powerful man in the world. I don't know if his grip strength really would back that up.
It's more figuratively spoken.
Yes, we do not take that literally.
All right. Well, let's get to the bee or not the bee. Joey's going to play along with us. Ryan's going to read us some headlines here. And as we go through these headlines, each of them, we just basically guess, is this a real story or is this not a real story?
Wiggins!
Oh! Wiggins! The bee or not the bee?
All right, Ryan.
All right, these are going to be tough.
I like your confidence.
White House warns public any videos of Biden looking confused and senile during debate will be deepfakes.
That's got to be the bee.
That's the bee.
The bee? Yeah.
Everybody agrees.
Yeah.
It's the bee. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said in a press conference, because he's in such tip-top shape, any videos which seem to depict him as bewildered, unstable, or ineloquent are certain to be deepfakes.
Ineloquent.
And made to spread the far-right conspiracy theory that the president is incompetent. When asked for comment, President Biden stared into the abyss for several minutes and then threatened to fight a moose.
I said to Karine Jean-Pierre, it turned out that the cheap fakes were the cheap fake. Isn't that ironic?
Yeah.
You got another one?
Yeah, next
You
one.
just want me to talk more?
I found that profound.
Oh, you had
I was
to
like, really?
Let that
That's
sink
incredible. Biden invents new language on live TV.
Joe,
I wouldn't call it a language.
No?
It's some sort of clicking and barking noises.
It's like the aliens and signs from the movie I just watched with my kids last
That's right,
weekend.
and Independence Day.
I don't know. What do you think, Brad?
I think it's a real story, but I think it's a Babylon Bee headline.
What do you got?
Brad is exactly right. The debate moderators appeared to struggle with Biden's fantastic and efficient new language at first, but stopped worrying when they realized it wouldn't change what they thought of the president's debate performance. Quote, I don't know what it means, said Dr. Samuel Norris, a Harvard PhD in political science, but I'm excited.
Good for him. Isn't it a shame how much people aren't using Joe Biden for comedy? Have you ever seen a greeting card with Joe Biden on it?
No. Maybe it'd be better if it were like a condolences card. It'd be more appropriate.
Maybe I wasn't looking in the right section.
Sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Or it'd be more like, sorry for your impending loss.
It's like the 40th Grim Reaper.
Yeah. Even him at any event were 4 more years. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'll check in with you.
There you go.
Joe, I've just given you the best idea ever. I mean, you remember what all the Bill Clinton greeting cards look like?
Oh yeah.
Clinton
was fun.
Yes. George W. Bush is just all about being stupid.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. You probably find some Trump ones too.
I don't know. How do you exaggerate these guys? Like Trump is 180% Trump at all times.
Yeah. Owning it.
Yeah. And then Biden. Oh, I don't.
He has no idea.
Next headline, please.
Next headline, how blackout drinking can be bad for you long term.
I think that's real.
That's going to be a real headline.
Yeah, I think this is a real headline.
Yeah, it's a real headline, but it's
I'd like
just
to know where the
surprising.
Babylon Bee would take that, though.
Yeah, the article says blackout drinking at a young age can have lasting effects on learning, memory, and our ability to recognize faces, new research finds.
It's
just incredible that there's research.
You hear stories like this, and you're like, we needed a study for that, and then you kind of understand the voting blocks a little bit more, that there are people who are like reading that study and changing their lifestyle. Maybe I should quit blackout drinking. Those people vote. I think. I guess you could be drinking before you're 18.
Were there habitual blackout drinkers who let me see some studies?
Yeah.
I'm
gonna need a chart.
I'm not going to stop drinking this air freshener until I get some facts.
Yeah.
Let me see. Was this peer reviewed? All right, last one. We could probably fit this in. Republicans raise money to send AOC to dance for all Democratic candidates.
Corey Bush. She can come have all 3 hours of my show. AOC, come do your thing. Campaign for Corey Bush right here.
AOC had some painful moves. That was the dance equivalent of a pair of mom jeans.
I mean, there are times in your life where you're like feeling moved by the spirit or the equivalent of whatever that is to you, and watching Jamal Bowman like, let's show him who the F we are, like over and over and over and over again, and AOC acting very AOC, and then he gets trounced. That happened this week too.
It was good stuff.
It's been a really great week for us.
This is what I've always said about AOC. I doubt she was even a good bartender. So stop saying she should go back to tending bar, because I'll guarantee
that's not nice to those people.
There were just horny guys at the end of the bar who were like, well, she's cute. I'll listen to her blather while I enjoyed the happy hour specials.
Pretty. I'll give her that. I think this is, fake. B.
You're right.
B.
Yeah, it happens to be the Babylon Bee. Voters reached for comment, confirmed that the strategy would be effective. Quote, "Oh, good grief, I'll vote for anyone running against the candidate she dances for," one voter said. "My cousin was considering voting for Bowman, but once he saw AOC..."
Do you think, we got like 2 minutes left here, Joe, and if you want to get your tickets to see Joe DeVito at the St. Charles, the streets of St. Charles, stlfunnybone.com, get them before they're gone. He's got 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow night. Do you feel like there's a possible great awakening here? A lot of people have been lied to very consistently, not just from CNN, but from Hollywood, from their music entertainers, from athletes. This has been a very consistent lie. Some might call it a big lie.
Well, one of the things Trump did from the beginning was, you can't go back. He pulled that curtain back, and we've seen that. And we've seen it from all of the media. We've seen it from the universities. We've seen it. I don't know why the Dr. Fauci hearings they were having recently were not huge news, that people were saying, hey, this guy lied to everybody. This guy destroyed the economy. He destroyed the learning for children. And I think the way they say people don't listen to experts anymore, because we've seen what your experts are, and your experts are covering their own rear ends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just feel I'm not going to overestimate the Republicans' ability to just totally blow it.
That's where you're holding your breath.
Yes, which was kind of the message that I had yesterday for Trump. It's like, just don't get in your own way. You don't have to be spectacular. Just let Joe Biden be the story. And I was shocked that he was able to do it so incredibly well. But I just feel like, especially the COVID kids who are older now, they are going to come to understand that things that they thought and were sworn were true are just not.
Yeah, well, the pendulum always comes back, and the farther you push it one way, the farther it comes back from the other side. So it's going to be fun.
STLfunnybone.com. Joe DeVito, thanks for coming to St. Louis, and thanks for coming in to talk to us. We love you.
Thanks, guys.
We'll have you back again soon. Get your tickets for the 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow night. STLfunnybone.com. You will not regret it. We'll be right back.
You know, there's a sign I keep in my office that reads, "Remember where you came from." Well, Mike Carter here of Carter Law Offices. We all remember where we grew up, the schools we attended, and the streets we played on, and the friends we made. The Carter family has deep roots in Missouri. There was a Civil War captain from St. Charles County who became sheriff of Lincoln County. My own grandparents had a farm down in Carter County where I spent a couple boyhood summers riding a pig, to and fro. For myself, Mike Carter, I was raised in North County, and before you ask, I went to Hazelwood West High School. Growing up, my parents taught me that if I studied and worked hard, good things were sure to follow. And like many of you, I went to Mizzou, working my way through college, bussing tables, driving for UPS. Then I graduated law school, founded Carter Law Offices, and serve now as a municipal judge and general counsel of the largest employer in St. Charles County. But I never forget North County, where I came from, and the people and places that we all remember that make us who we are. Go to MikeCarter.com and check out some interviews from some other people across the great state of Missouri.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
He won't drop drop out. I'm Therese Crowley, Fox News. President Biden at his first rally in Raleigh, North Carolina, after the CNN presidential debate, vows he's committed to the second debate and won't drop out, despite the party panic over his stumbling to remember long phrases, losing his thoughts 13 minutes in. Former Obama senior advisor David Axelrod saying there are going to be discussions about whether he should continue, but Donald Trump predicts Biden will be the nominee, and Democratic rules make it very hard to change him out. Fox's Peter Ducey.
Even though the campaign is blaming performance issues for the president on him having a cold, he was out glad-handing at a Waffle House in the wee hours of the morning, and he's there looking all around for a good review. Hard to find any, but he's giving himself a good review.
Do you have any concerns about your performance?
No, it's hard to debate a liar. New York Times pointed out he lied 26 times. Big lies.
The New York Times has also written several opinion pieces today suggesting that the president should drop out. But voters seem less concerned now with what was said and more concerned with how Biden said it.
Vice President Kamala Harris spun it, saying he had a slow start but a strong finish, though he may not finish as the party's nominee.
Last night was seismic. A senior House Democratic leadership source tells me, quote, those closest to the president have not served him well. The source adds, quote, this is not sustainable. Now, removing the president is messy. It would likely take a cohort of senior Democrats, ranging from former Presidents Obama and Clinton to former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, to convince Mr. Biden to step aside.
Would the party turn to California Governor Gavin Newsom? Newsom, pledging loyalty, says, I would never turn my back on Joe Biden. America is listening to Fox News.
Paid actor portrayal.
Dude, guess how much I pay for $1 million term life insurance policy?
Gotta be at least $150 a month.
Nope. I got coverage through Ethos all online for less than $70 a month and no medical exam. Just answered a few health questions.
That's impressive. I'm shocked you have life insurance.
Wait, don't you? You have a wife and kids. What if something happens to you? With Ethos, you can start your coverage the same day.
Wow. I'm sold.
Get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-653-1188. 800-653-1188.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Through our Friday afternoon, 92 with a mix of clouds and sunshine. I'll keep a chance of a spot storm. Tonight, clouds, scattered showers and thunderstorms after midnight. 78 for the low. Saturday, scattered showers and thunderstorms, some strong. Anytime Saturday. Otherwise, partly sunny skies, warm and humid, 94. Sunday, sunny and wonderful, 83. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Are you ready to smell better naked? I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the OBGYN creator of Lumi, the whole body deodorant that's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, and beyond. It's pH optimized to safely and effectively control odor anywhere you have it, but wish you didn't. Plus, it's proven to work better than a shower with soap alone. Whether you shower twice a day or 3 times a week, Lumi works better. And who doesn't want zero body odor? With over 200,000 5-star reviews, I'm so sure you're going to love it, or you can return it for free.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 500 and get 15% off your first purchase with code 500, like the Lumi Starter Pack, Acidified Body Wash, or new Lumi Plus Sweat Control. That's LumeDeodorant.com, code 500 for 15% off your first purchase. Love it or return it for free. That's LumeDeodorant.com, code 500 to save 15% today.
Air Comfort Service, they're there to help you through these hot St. Louis summer days. If you reach out to them at 314-513-0091, whatever your concerns or issues are with your HVAC, it's blowing, but it's not cooling appropriately. Maybe the basement is frigid cold and the upstairs is 82 degrees, or maybe it's not blowing at all. When you call them, Air Comfort Service, at 314-513-0091, they're going to be able to walk you through whatever you need, be able to visit to your house, give you the tune-up that your system might need, help you with replacements if that's what it comes down to. But it's not just about your residents. Air Comfort Service is the service provider for many commercial places in the bi-state region. So at Air Comfort Service, if you need help with your HVAC, if you need help staying in your comfort zone, whatever it might be, reach out to the people you can trust in your home, in your place of business. I trust them in my home and have worked with them many, many times. 314-513-0091. Hit them online at aircomfortservice.com.
You've listened to 97.1 FM Talk. You've heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial and Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple as the financial expert on the station for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend right here on 97.1 FM Talk. And you can talk to Doug Voss directly. Here's his number. Call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
You entrusted a nursing home with the care of a loved one, but they violated that trust. If your family member has been the victim of nursing home neglect, call Onder Law at 844-BEDSORE.
Who are you voting for in the Missouri governor's primary? Join me, Annie Fry, for the Republican Governors Forum on July 11th. Register for this free event presented by the Republican Central Committee of St. Louis County at 971talk.com/events.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We've seen Joe Biden at the rally that he had in North Carolina. Joe Biden has made a commitment to stay in the race, to be at the next debate, and to win North Carolina. He's got it figured out.
I'm glad that he is. If he wasn't,
Yeah.
if he today said he was dropping out, I think we'd be in much worse spirits.
There's so much to say about the debate, and I talked about it a little bit in the first segment, and so I kind of got that out. We'll probably talk more about it here throughout the course of the show, but I did say that at 1:05 I'd open the phone lines. So if you want to give us a call, 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through the phone calls as they come in. I'm going to give you your opportunity to say your assessment of the debate last night, what happens next, wherever you want to take it. You get like a minute to do that, and then I'm going to try to plow through and get through as many possible calls as I can. 314-241-9797. Give us a call, and you can let us know what you think, and we will interact with what you say throughout the course of these phone calls. Who called in here first here? Let's go with John. John, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. Did you watch the debate? If you did, what did you think?
Yeah, thanks for taking calls. I really love it when people do that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm a Biden supporter, but he did get blown out by Trump. Biden looked awful to me, and it's a shame. I don't think he'll make the next debate. Sorry to say. But what I want to point out, since I don't like Trump at all, is that one more thing. I know I got like about 40 seconds left. Trump, Biden was on Howard Stern and had a very normal interview a month ago for an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
He looked totally normal. Did you see that? He was totally normal.
That's where he said that he would debate Trump. That's where this whole thing kind of spawned from.
It was a beautiful interview, and he only stumbled on two words the whole time. Okay, now, Trump, though, according to PolitiFact, I think they're fair. I don't know if you do. Trump lied 16 times and Biden once. New York Times, Trump lied 20 times.
What was the Biden lie?
There's a whole list of them. Oh, I don't know. But he did. He did. No, I'm just saying, I wrote down how many lies. That's all. And I do got other information, but I don't got time. Okay, 16 lies for Trump, 1 for Biden. New York Times, 20 lies for Trump, 1 for Biden. And CNN does, however, little more fair, I guess. I don't know. CNN, 30 lies for Trump and 9 for Biden. But do you think these people are reporting accurately? I do, but what do you think about all those lies from Trump? Do you think they're making them up, or do you think they're really lies that could be researched and proven to be lies?
John, thank you for the phone call. I think it's an interesting question. I haven't seen anybody articulate to me the point-by-point lies of Donald Trump.
So I read the CNN fact check this morning.
On Trump.
On both of them.
Well, I haven't seen the specifics articulated the way I've seen CNN's Joe Biden fact check. So Ryan, why don't you give us the Trump one, and we'll start with CNN's Joe Biden
he said
one.
He's the only president in a while who didn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world. Troops have, of course, died on his watch. He said he's put in a $15 per shot cap on insulin and Medicare. It's a $35 a month cap. He said it's a $200 cap on overall drug spending in Medicare. It's $2,000 a year. He said the border now has fewer crossings than when Trump was in office. That's generally not true. He said, or at least strongly suggested, unemployment was at 15% when he took office. It was actually 6.4. He said Trump wants to get rid of Social Security. Trump doesn't. He said billionaires pay 8.2% in taxes. It's much higher. He said Trump told Americans to inject bleach amid COVID. We know Trump made foolish comments about scientists studying disinfectant injection, but didn't frame it as advice to people. And Biden said the Border Patrol endorsed him. No, its union supported the border bill he'd supported, never endorsed him himself.
It's weird to even fact check a fact checker who's fact checking things that took place last night. But even the disinfectant thing, they're fact checking Joe Biden's claims last night that he was talking about injecting bleach, which Joe Biden was like the first thing that he said when we tuned into it, where he was in his North Carolina rally. But even the whole disinfectant thing, Donald Trump was talking about something that could possibly be done that would like disinfect your body from COVID. He was not saying go get the Clorox. He never was. It's very useful to the people on the left to suggest otherwise. The CNN fact check of Donald Trump here, since I don't have the sound of that, right? Just the Biden one. I'll read through it here. I don't have any problem reading through that. Trump made more than 30 false claims at the Thursday debate. They included numerous claims that CNN and others have already debunked during the current presidential campaign or prior. Trump's repeated falsehoods included his assertions that some Democrat-led states allow babies to be executed after birth. What Donald Trump said last night was that when you listen to what happened in Virginia, which is why Glenn Youngkin there is the governor, Northam said that if a baby that was supposed to be aborted was born alive, that they would let the baby sit there while the parent and the doctor made a decision on what to do. That's murder. Find me a person who's going to justify that type of behavior. I can point one out to you. It's the former governor of Virginia who said those words, that every legal scholar and everybody in general wanted Roe v. Wade overturned. He was saying that what everybody was saying is that they wanted it to be handled at the state level, not at the federal level, and that what Roe v. Wade was at the Supreme Court was legislation, and it was out of the bounds of the Supreme Court to do such a thing. And constitutionally, that is true. That there were no terror attacks during his presidency. What terror attacks were there during his presidency?
They would have been very small.
So that might be a lie on technicality, which I'm
Right.
sure some of the things listed for Joe Biden were lies on technicality, but the spirit of what was being said was still valuable on both sides of the aisle. That Iran didn't fund terror groups during his presidency, that the U.S. had provided more aid to Ukraine than Europe has, that Biden for years referred to black people as super predators. He did refer to them as that. And if the fact check here is that Biden didn't do it for years, just real quick question for the Democrats. How long can you refer to black people as super predators and it's okay? I don't know because I'm not a Democrat. And that Biden is planning to quadruple people's taxes. Then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi turned down 10,000 National Guard troops for the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. Play the freaking tape.
Yeah, that is absolutely a fact.
That Americans don't pay the cost of his tariffs on China and other countries. I mean, that's an economically debatable point. So you could fact check that if you want, again, on technicality, that Europe accepts no American cars and that he is the president who got the Veterans Choice Program through Congress. What Donald Trump did with the Veterans Program is he dramatically expanded what Obama had put into place to make it more beneficial for veterans. And the last one, that fraud marred the results of the 2020 election. There's nothing here that makes me go, Donald Trump is intentionally trying to deceive the American people. I think they're all contextually, or there are technicalities around those where I could see where the left would say, no, that's not true. And the right could say, no, that's not true.
Exactly. A lot of this stuff is Trump bravado that they go, well, he said, but it's actually like if we were to say, everybody knows that Karine Jean-Pierre is one of the worst press secretaries. Well, you could say, well, factually, that's not true because some people don't even know she's a press secretary. It's that kind of stuff that you go, that's what you're saying he's lying about? Like Europe accepts no American cars. Wait, Europe probably does accept some American cars. But if you're talking about the balance of who's accepting more, his point remains valid. It's that kind of stuff that he speaks in generalizations that you can go, well, fact check.
The biggest, most offensive lie that Joe Biden told last night is that he didn't have any troops. Like, what an arrogant a-hole thing to say. That was the pinpoint moment where I knew that Joe Biden is not with it at all, because that is political suicide. To forget the people who, under your service as commander-in-chief, died under your watch because of your policies. St. Louis, Jared Schmidt's one of them. All right, let's get back to the phone calls here. Paul, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. Last night's debate, did you watch it? What'd you think?
Unfortunately, I didn't watch it because I'm blind, but I did listen to it.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm angry. I'm very angry. The Democrats had 7 days to prep this man, and that's the best product they could put out. There's only one group that's very happy with Joe Biden's performance last night, and that's our enemies.
Yeah.
It is my firm belief that before the election, Taiwan will be attacked by China.
Paul, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it. And, I'm glad that you were able to listen to the debate and take it in. And it is very important to remember that while we're sitting here and watching this from like a political red versus blue, R versus D standpoint, that the world got to see it. And the world has to be asking themselves right now, what's the status of the United States? How cohesive is the United States government? Who's in charge? It'd be very sensible to ask those types of questions. Gary, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. What'd you think about the debate last night?
Well, I watched about 20 to 30 minutes of it, and I've been pressing for this format for a long time. I loved the way everything seemed to go. I like more control. I don't like to see bickering. So I was impressed with the format. And the moderators, I was kind of even impressed with them. So all in all,
I completely agree, Gary. Thank you for the phone call. I think that the entire setup for the debate was A+. And there weren't any moments where I felt like the network or the moderators took over the center stage for what we were supposed to be watching and experiencing. I think Gary makes a really good point here. Vicky, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. What'd you think about the debate last night?
Similar to what you said, I really thought the format was good. I thought I really felt like Donald Trump was very composed compared to the previous debates, and he controlled himself. He didn't do insults, and I thought he was fairly professional, which I thought was good points. The setup was good too. And basically, I do think that Biden was saved from the moderators, who were very monotone and very neutral. They appeared for that. That was all plus. That I did watch the other news media shows to kind of hear what they were saying afterwards. And like I said, the Morning Joe show this morning had a guy on there, and he just very quickly went through like 20 different lies that Trump said. Mm-hmm. And some I just thought were really, it's kind of debatable whether those were true lies. Like one might have said $2 billion. He said $200 billion was contributed to Ukraine. And then they said it was 210 or something. I don't know. I think sometimes there was like a little nuance. So they count some of those things as lies. Yeah. They said they had testimony proving that of the sexual assault and all that stuff. Not that I'm here to defend Donald Trump, because I'm not here to morally defend him, but by the same token, I just don't like how unfair he's been treated.
Yeah. Vicky, well said. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. And I think that the thing that Vicky's talking about there with the technicalities of the fact checks, I'm not defending if that specific instance that she gave is a specific one that was actually, or she was just kind of, saying in a roundabout way, this is what they're like. I'm not here to argue with the fact checkers. I know I'm pretty plugged in, so I'm pretty aware of what's going on. And when I hear Joe Biden say that he didn't lose anybody, no troops in his presidency, I just want to be like, get off of the stage now. Go home. Don't come back. That was terrible to see, and he should be ashamed of himself. Joyce, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. What do you think of the debate?
I thought that the CNN, I had no idea who those people were. I thought they did good. They did good. I was surprised because all I heard was bad stuff about them. I am a supporter of Donald Trump, and I hear from him and his family a lot, and just letters and things. And Donald Trump sent me a text yesterday, I guess on his way to the debate, he said. And that's all. He wanted to know what I thought about his vice president. Who do you think should be the vice president? That's what he said. So I just gave him my thoughts. 3 people that I had, Ben Carson and Arnold Donald. I get the name really correct.
Byron Donalds, yeah.
Byron, I get it all. Yeah, I think I even messed it up when I typed it, and I hate the text. And the third person, who did I tell him? But I can't remember now. There were 3, but I have heard from them, the family. I don't know why. I send them information, and I have in my hand what I got from this one's from Pat Boone, and I was given to be Missouri's responder for Social Security. What I thought of it,
Joyce. I think that the VP pick is something that it's going to be another huge moment in this journey that we have till November. And who they pick, I almost think that maybe they're waiting till after this debate happened to see how Joe Biden managed, because they might want to go one way or the other depending on how Joe Biden actually delivered in the debate. Thank you for calling, Joyce. I appreciate it. We are all familiar with those Donald Trump texts. I kind of wish he would stop. Ken, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. Real quick, what did you think of the debate last night?
Well, actually, I was pleasantly surprised by how well the moderators did. I was pretty much embarrassed and sad to see how Joe Biden did, and I'm really concerned that if he does get elected, he's not going to finish the term, and then we got to worry about the VP stepping up. That's going to be horrible. The only thing I wished about Trump is that I wish he would have answered the questions. He tended to go off on his tangents about the other things, and I think if he'd answered those questions, he might have got more people on his side.
Ken, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it. I think that when I've heard several people say they wish he would have gone in more on his answers. He spent his time when he was being asked a direct question defending against some absurd things that Joe Biden was saying about him. And that's what a debate is. A debate is you discuss or argue topics, and there wasn't as much of a debate format for this because there were muting of mics, which I appreciated. I liked it. So I think that what appeared in some cases for him to be dodging questions was him using his time to react to wild things that Joe Biden had asserted about him. Last call, Al, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. What did you think of the debate?
Well, for one, I was surprised with the moderators. They actually didn't do what I thought they were going to do. And I was very sad for Joe Biden because that's elder abuse, what they're doing to him, putting him up there like that. And I wish Trump would have, answered more of the questions. I'm a Trump supporter, but, but on his defense, the only way he can get that stuff out there that Joe has did to him is on a platform like this, to where actually the mainstream media is actually going to put this out there for people to hear. So he had to do what he had to do.
Al, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it. I mean, nobody there's saying anything that this seems to be the pretty broad understanding of what took place last night.
Which means that there is a narrative that America's waking up to this morning that wasn't there yesterday. And everybody kind of agrees that what we saw was what we should have been seeing for the last 6 months, maybe longer.
It's what we have been seeing.
Yes.
In an uncontrolled environment.
Exactly.
Because they couldn't manage it.
Right.
I agree, too. And you hear a lot of people saying this in these phone calls, and I've heard it and read it, too, that people feel bad for Joe Biden. They're sad for him. And I'm going to be honest and say that I don't think those people who feel that way for Joe Biden feel it as much for Joe Biden as I'm assuming that they have somebody in their life who they've watched go through this.
Yeah.
And they know what it's like to endure a loved one in that type of capacity. And it is sad. When we come back, we're going to speak with John Roderick. Excited to have John Roderick. He's the owner of Jerry's Cafeteria. It's in Granite City, Illinois. And they have been struggling a bit. And we're going to talk to him about where those struggles come from. And we're going to see what we can do to rally the Annie Fry Show audience to help them out a little bit. Stick around. I'd love to have you be a part of this conversation as well. And then in the 2 o'clock hour, we are going to grade the debate. So stick around for that. John Roderick when we come back.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
When you say that I want it that way, tell me why.
Hello, Mike Carter here. I wonder if you knew that after the purchase of the Louisiana Territory in 1804, a formal three-flag ceremony was held in St. Louis to mark the transfer. The Spanish flag lowered and the French tricolor raised. That in turn was lowered the next day and the flag of the young Republic of the United States stood tall. I'm Mike Carter of Carter Law Offices here, and at that moment the people living here went from being subjects to being citizens of a great free nation. Jump ahead 220 years to what we have become, and over 6 million men, women, and children now call Missouri home. Our largest cities are an economic powerhouse, and our small towns and family farms remain the heart of the nation. A friend wrote me one time at Carter Law Offices, "Hey, Mike Carter, why don't Missouri residents show their pride by flying our state flag more often like the folks in Texas?" I was like, that's a really great idea. And I was thinking, maybe anybody who's listening to this, if you want to send me an email at mike@carterlegal.com with your name and address if you're okay doing so, and I'll send you a free state flag, and you can hang it out on your front porch and show everybody you're as proud of Missouri as I am.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Summer is right here now. Summer starts June 21st, but let's just say summer started. I have to say, if you have not been proactive and scheduled your checkup to make sure your air conditioner is ready, that's fine, because I'll be honest with you. If I wasn't in the business, I wouldn't either. So if you haven't done it, if you haven't had it checked and it does break down, just save my number in your phone. Not while you're driving, but when you stop, or when you're at that light, or when that really, really slow driver is in front of you in the passing lane, that's the perfect time to save my number. Call me. It's Bart Inman. One easy number. The easiest of all numbers for Missouri and Illinois. It is 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, it's bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com.
If you had a crystal ball, you wouldn't agonize over when to sell your home. You just ask, should I sell while my home's value is sky high? Or wait and hope the bottom doesn't drop out of the housing market? The thing is, I'm not ready to move.
You don't need a crystal ball with Truehold's Sell and Stay program. You can literally sell now and stay in your home as long as you like. When you sell your home to Truehold for its best current value, you can fully cash out your home's equity. And you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Truehold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance too. Truehold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get an offer now while your home's value is sky high and use the money to secure your retirement, pay off bills, or finance your dreams. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's current best value without moving. That's Truehold.com. Go to Truehold.com now. That's Truehold.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
They're finding ways to win close games. It feels like every single night they're going to the 7th or 8th inning up 1 or 2 runs.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis is home for conservative talk.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. It's been a busy day so far. Of course, last night, wild debate night. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the show. We had Joe DeVito in with us, who is a regular on the Gutfeld Show. He's a comedian, and he has shows tonight and tomorrow night at the Funny Bone Streets of St. Charles. Make sure you get your tickets before they're gone. 2 shows tonight and 2 shows tomorrow night, 7:30 and 9:30 tonight, 7 and 9 Saturday. Tickets at stlfunnybone.com. We're doing something now that, Brad, we don't traditionally do things like this, and maybe we should. But I got tipped off to a diner in Granite City, Illinois. People started sending me this video that was done by John Roderick, who's the owner of Jerry's Cafeteria. You can go to jerryscafeteria.com and learn more about what we're going to talk about here. But, John, you put this video out on Facebook, maybe some other socials, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I do Facebook and Instagram both.
Facebook and Instagram. And I've heard such great things about Jerry's Cafeteria, people raving about your food and the experience there.
Thank you.
But you, it's not an unheard of story right now, are dealing with the effects of the economy, of, I guess, maybe the steel mill might have something to do with.
A little bit. I think it's a lot of COVID hangover still.
So talk to me about Jerry's. You're not Jerry.
My dad was Jerry.
Your dad. So this is a family business.
Family business. Actually, I'm 3rd generation in the restaurant industry in Granite City.
So what kind of restaurant is this?
It's Cafeteria. We're super old school. It's not like the restaurants where you walk in and you're greeted with a hostess. You have a walk down the hall. You grab your tray, just like
Cafeteria.
Mrs. Hulling's back in the day. I actually did work for Pope's Cafeteria back in the day, if you remember those. But yeah, we make your plate for you right in front of you.
Did you grow up in this restaurant?
Absolutely. Well, so my dad opened Jerry's in 1986. My grandparents got into the tavern business in 1945, which eventually evolved into a cafeteria, a much smaller place at the other end of town. Dad opened up the bigger place. 1986, we're downtown, and offered catering as well with it.
So do you do catering now too?
We do.
So you're in Granite City. There are parts of Granite City that have been really invested in lately.
Downtown,
working
yes.
to grow Granite
The
City.
district.
So talk to me about the direction Granite City has been headed lately.
Well, we have, as of, I think, 3 years ago, a new mayor. Granite City had a depressed section, and that's where I'm located, downtown. We have a new leadership in our town as of 3 years ago that's just really pushing new business, new families moving in, trying to get the area built back up to what it used to be.
Yeah. So, but the steel mill has been that's a staple.
Steel mill's a staple. Yeah, absolutely.
What's happened there?
We don't know. Nobody knows. I talk to many people who come in from that work for the mill at different levels, and everybody's in limbo, constant limbo. Don't know if it's going to get sold or if it's going to even be open in 6 months.
And that, I mean, I would think that. How close are you to the mill?
Their office building is our parking lot's adjoined. Now I'm from the actual steel making plant about 2 blocks.
I always think about, like, you hear about U.S. Steel bought by Japan, and I know lots of people in my life because I'm a Madison County girl in Illinois, and Ryan, you're a Madison County girl too.
Saw that coming a mile away.
It's 2024.
Yeah, you can do what you want.
Still didn't duck.
Brad, I mean,
Thank you, John.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You guys are gonna be best friends. But Brad's in St. Clair County. We're all on the Illinois side of the river, and you see something like the steel mill. Oh, they're firing up another furnace,
right?
And that's not just like a job. That's not as simple as just a job for one person.
No.
The ripple effect of that type of commerce is massive in the area, and so is the converse of it.
It's not just the mill that produces the steel. It's all the little ancillary processors, the picklers, the Heitman, the pre-coat metals, the people that coat the steels, that cut the steels, form it into what it's ultimately going to be. Not to mention the truck drivers and rails that this is all shipped out on.
Yeah. So if that business starts to die down, if they turn off a furnace, that just really affects the neighborhood.
It affects the uncertainty of the economy in our general area. These jobs, are they going to be there in, even if they idle the plant for 2 weeks? I think they have an idle coming up in August. I just heard that where they're going to idle the plant for a week. But is it going to be 1 week, or is it going to be 1 month, or do they get these guys come back to work?
So you have your diner there. I would assume that you probably have served a steel worker from a time or two.
1 or 2.
Yeah. I mean, you're a generational, locally owned and operated business. You put a video out on Facebook. What did you say in that video that's really gotten a lot of attention?
It's got
my attention.
Tremendous amount of attention. The economy over the last year-ish has just kind of been sluggish, and our business had fallen off. I still believed in what we do. We're from scratch type place. I don't buy a lot of processed foods. And so I really believed in what we were doing, and I'm thinking, why is our business going down and down and down? I mean, the regulars that I was seeing, the workers, the blue collar guys that are out driving the white vans around, that used to eat in my place 3 times a week. Now I see them once a week, and
They're still there.
and I talk to them. I know them. I know probably 50% of my customers on a first name basis.
What makes them go from 3 times a week to 1 time a week?
They can't afford to eat 3 times a week. Dine out. So they're bringing their lunch with them. They're getting a ham sandwich. They're stopping by the gas station and getting the 99-cent, cold wrap, and just trying to make do with that.
And that's such a double-edged sword, because there's the money that goes into their pocket and their ability to afford all of the things that you need to afford in any given week or month or paycheck period. That when you cut back on things, you do cut back on eating out.
Right.
But there's also your costs. Have you experienced inflation in the products that you have to buy to serve people at the
absolutely.
cafeteria?
And it's a little volatile right now, because you never know what's going up at one point in time, and then there's still some availability issues. We struggle with getting some product occasionally still. So when you do, you may be looking at two or three of your suppliers and who's got it, and they're $4 or $5 a case more, but I need the product. I'm without product, I have nothing to sell.
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to, you can't be as choosy and always search the best deal.
So you put out this. I mean, it was, you basically said in your video, my recollection is, listen, times are hard for everybody, and you're feeling it at the cafeteria. And I remember you saying, like, you're putting this out there because you mentioned the fact that it's at least a thought that's on the table that you might not be able to continue this business.
It was very real. I mean, I was looking, you look at the bank account. I know what payroll is going to be this, from week to week. I know about what's coming in on a regular basis. And you do the math.
Yeah.
And it either works or it doesn't. And I am not going to ask my employees to work for free. That's not fair to anybody. So, you start making hard choices, and the choice was kind of just actually I'd spoken with my accountant, and he's like, I don't know, we weren't really sure how much longer we could hold out at the rate we're going. And, he mentioned that actually the Dandy Inn up in Fairview, I don't know if you remember that, when they went out and they made it a similar post and, saw tremendous results for a short time. But so, he suggested I do the same and maybe we can, rekindle a fire. And, it's certainly happened. We're seeing a good increase in foot traffic. And the other part of our business, which is catering, July's not the hottest month for catering. I mean,
it's just the hottest month.
It's just the hottest month. Exactly.
Yeah.
People are on vacation.
What kind of events do you cater?
Weddings are our big thing, but we do, we'll do corporate. We do funerals. I mean, actually, funerals is a fairly good business for us.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a what we call bulk food, so we can come out and do a wedding, serve the full buffet. Or if you have a graduation party and you just want to grab some, fried chicken and twice baked potatoes, which is two of the things we're kind of famous for, roll up to the back door, we drop it in your trunk, and you're gone.
We're speaking with John Roderick. He's the owner of Jerry's Cafeteria. They're located in Granite City, and he put out a video on social media, and he was talking about some of the struggles they're facing. And when you and I talked a little bit, you were saying, it's not just location or steel mill or whatever.
No.
It is the inflation that is affecting people. And you said, if you used to come and you haven't been around for a while, why don't you come back one time or whatever?
My personal invitation.
So you're open Tuesday through Sunday, and it's 11 to 7, except for Sundays is 11 to 4.
Exactly.
So what I would like to do is I'd like to come right after the show gets over on Tuesday, and I can commit to being there from 3:30 to 5, but I never eat. I have the weirdest eating schedule because this show is from noon to 3. And
mine is the same way. I eat like when people work.
Yes, exactly.
I work when people eat.
So what I'm going to do is commit to having lunch or dinner. It depends on if I get to eat again that night. But I'm going to come to Jerry's Cafeteria on Tuesday directly from the show here. And I'm asking listeners to come hang out with me and have a meal. And I don't get anything out of this. And I just saw this. People sent me, the reason why I did this is because John, people sent me this video, and they're good people who I know, and they know you and they know Jerry's Cafeteria, and they're like, you should check this out. So I'm going on the trust that I have of those good people who believe that you and what you're doing is good and worthwhile. And I think that this is a story that people relate to.
We've been a part of the community. Our family's been a very big part of the community for like I said, for almost 80 years now. My sister's the city clerk here in town, and the mayor Mike Parkinson he and I were good friends growing up. His dad and my dad grew up together, so we've been a part of this community. When the fundraisers come around, man, I mean, it's I feel like I have an open checkbook for these people, but right now it's we need help filling that checkbook back up.
Let's turn it around. So I'm going to come see you guys on Tuesday, and for anybody who wants to come have lunch with me or dinner, or we can call it whatever you want, I'm going to have a meal at Jerry's Cafeteria at 3:30. I'll be there till at least 5. Son has a baseball game at 6. If it's raining, I'll be more flexible. That's literally my life. It varies based on the weather. But I'd like to come see you guys, and I want to encourage other people to come to Jerry's Cafeteria in Granite City. If you can't come when I'm going to be there, find a time to go say hi. Tell him you heard about him on the Annie Fry Show. If you know Jerry, people, do you have desserts?
I brought some desserts with me.
Oh, you
today.
did?
I did. Yes.
Okay, because Amanda says when you go, make sure you get their amazing desserts. Like, people are listing all of the amazing things about Jerry's, and I'm just going to have to come very hungry on Tuesday, which I probably will be anyway. So let's just have an Annie Fry Show meetup and go to Jerry's Cafeteria on Tuesday. And, I would also encourage you to consider those other local places in your area, wherever you're listening. John, I would imagine you've probably had a conversation or two with other people in the industry. You're not the only one who's dealing with this. No,
we text and call. I mean, I know pretty much all the business owners in town, restaurant owners anyway. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. As a matter of fact, my wife and I, and we eat local. I support local, even if it's outside of the Granite City area. My wife and I always try to eat in independent restaurants, but
it makes a difference.
Yeah, we went to the Mexican restaurant on the other side of town last Saturday night, and we were one of 9 customers in there.
Yeah,
and that's not that guy's, he's not going to make payroll. Yeah. I mean, I hate to, and I'm not, I won't name names because I don't want to speak out of turn or anything, but we're all kind of in the same boat right now. If I can be the spokesperson for everybody in a town, that would be great.
Yeah.
As much as I need my business to grow, we all need to grow.
Yeah.
We all need one another, because what I fear is if I'm probably the bigger restaurant in Granite City, volume wise, I'm just the biggest one to go. And when one goes, they're all going to go.
Let's make Tuesday a good day for Jerry's Cafeteria. If you can't be there from 3:30 to 5 when I'm there, please come have dinner. Stop by Jerry's sometime this weekend, and let's infuse Jerry's Cafeteria with some eat local support. I mean, I think it's a really big deal. I know, Ryan, you know a lot of business owners and stuff in the area, and they probably have a lot of similar stories.
Yeah, I just had dinner in Granite City a couple nights ago at a new Mexican restaurant. At least new to me. I don't know how long they've been around.
Which one is that?
Tacos El Manny.
I've not tried his food yet. Now all I hear is great things about him.
It was very good. So yeah, I mean, Granite City, a lot of family still there.
Yeah, he's actually my grandfather's restaurant was about 2 blocks from where Tacos El Manny is.
Okay.
Yep.
Jerry'sCafeteria.com. John, thank you for coming in. Thank you for sharing your story. It's really an important story to share with people, and I'm glad you're willing to speak out on it and talk about the challenges so that we can help you meet a solution.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. John Roderick, the owner of Jerry's Cafeteria in Granite City, Illinois. I'll be there Tuesday from 3:30 to 5. Will you? I'd love to see you there. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-699-1059. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-699-1059. That's 800-699-1059.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The Cardinals host the Reds Sunday, June 30th, and that day is all about the kids. 10,000 kids ages 15 and younger entering with a ticket will be able to field like the pros when they receive their very own Rawlings Kids baseball glove. Come early to enjoy prizes, games, and free frozen treats in the Ford Plaza at Prairie Farms Ice Cream Sundays prior to every Sunday home game. For tickets and details, visit cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Nolan Arenado, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
L is for Let's, G is for Go, C is for Cardinals. Celebrate the ABCs the Cardinals way at Busch Stadium on Sunday, June 30th. It's Sesame Street Day at the ballpark with something for fans of all ages. With the purchase of a theme ticket, fans can select either a Cookie Monster bobblehead or an Oscar the Grouch plush. Wearing Cards jerseys, of course. That's Sunday, June 30th, Sesame Street Day at the ballpark. For details or tickets, visit cardinals.com/theme.
This is Brendan Donovan, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Mike Carter here. Too often we lose sight of how fortunate we are to live in Missouri. When I travel out of state on business, people say, Mike Carter, what's so special about Missouri? Well, let's start with the mighty Mississippi and Missouri rivers traversing the state. They were the superhighways of the day used by French fur trappers and traders. Later, American settlers like Daniel Boone and waves of pioneers drove their teams and wagons along the Boonslick Trail he blazed. Carter Law Offices, right now, founded by me, Mike Carter, started and is on Boonslick Trail, near where those intrepid settlers crossed the Missouri to harness the land. Rich soils and generations of farm families like my own grandparents made Missouri the breadbasket of America. Drive a few minutes outside our cities and towns, and you'll find yourself passing miles and miles of undulating wheat and corn, farms and ranches that feed our nation. I'm Mike Carter, and I'm proud to live and work in the Show Me State, a place God blessed just a little bit more. Go to MikeCarter.com to see more about our great state of Missouri.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. RAMP.com/free.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres? ¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aw, he just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Nos vamos a divertir mucho.
And that means we're going to have a lot of fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Man, what a day after last night. We've been talking about this all day, on and off. Is Joe Biden the Democrat nominee on November 5th? Yes or no? I would love to track how the answers to this question have changed over time. It's the YouTube live chat poll. There's chicken being thrown at my face. Ooh, now I'm smelling it. Things are going to be okay.
Such a good day today. Such a good day.
It's the YouTube live chat poll. Vote and type in Annie Fry into YouTube for that to come up. 151. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Who are you voting for in the Missouri governor's primary? Join me, Annie Fry, for the Republican Governors Forum on July 11th. Register for this free event presented by the Republican Central Committee of St. Louis County at 971talk.com/events.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Are you guys quantity eaters? I think, Brad, you've said that you are.
I am.
Did you say quantity eater?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be careful.
I like the way you said that with, like, zero reservation.
Yeah.
Some people are quality eaters. Some people are quantity eaters.
I am both.
I am a quality eater. Yeah, I'll eat a lot. And I'll eat a lot of good food regardless.
The cheese right off those potatoes.
It's just weirding me out because you're standing in not a normal spot. And then, now when you're eating.
You're talking and you're so close.
My God, it's so good.
Go back over there. We're all, okay, the problem with having food.
You come over here to try to agitate me and I say get away from me?
Yeah. It's like that?
I assume.
This is hard because whenever we have delicious food sitting here.
I just took one bite of these mashed potatoes. And that's all I ever need to eat.
Part of talking on the radio is that you can't have food in your mouth. And now we have to stare at it.
When did you finally learn that lesson?
I learned it on this show, I think.
Yeah, probably. Where I was like, stop eating.
Yeah, eating or chewing ice or something.
I've told you that.
You can't do that right now.
Molly, who's freshly 3, if anybody says anything with some food in their mouth, she quickly goes, don't talk with your mouth full.
Oh.
I've said it a few times to her.
It's amazing how many people in the chat either have been to Jerry's or they know about Jerry's.
Jerry's Cafeteria.com. I'm going to go Tuesday from 3:30 to 5. I'm going to leave straight from here. You guys should come.
I'm in.
Tuesday, yeah. Well, let me look at the calendar. But if as long as I don't have to go to a game or something,
sacrifice some post-show stuff to go to Jerry's.
We'll just make post-show stuff
Or do
at
it
Jerry's.
Do it at Jerry's while we eat these mashed potatoes. Why am I talking on the air and not eating that? And I'm going to, you guys, listen, it's your job now. I'm going to take a bite of mac and cheese. Take it from here.
All right, Brad.
Oh, so good. Oh, my God.
You know what's weird is when I host, I have no problem doing that. But when you're here, I'm like, what do I do now?
It's funny that you mentioned that because, like, last night at the debate, you guys are like, all right, Brad, you need to get that stream up and going. And I'm like, I turn it on, and Ryan's making an announcement, and he's finishing up the radio broadcast.
And
it's just me.
Just you. Yep.
And Fred Bottomer came over and gave me a hand.
Yeah, I looked up, and I said this on the air on the live broadcast on 97.1. Yeah. I go, Reardon, Fred Bottomer and Brad Range are back there on my YouTube channel doing a show.
Yeah.
What is going on?
You know what's really funny about that? They had both of their cameras in, and they were looking at each other in real life, actually the way you would, but their cameras were opposite. So they were both looking off screen.
That's because they weren't producing. They were
the talent.
Yeah.
They're always talented, the very best. But there wasn't somebody else. That's how you know that it takes more than one person to do the thing.
Yeah, it takes a village.
Ryan just wanders around at events like this waiting for he's always ready to help, but you do have to ask him.
Or I don't know what I'm doing.
Or he's just eating food.
Well, yeah, when you ask him to help, you have to tell him to put his food down.
It's how I pass the time in between helping.
But last night you forgot to eat, which I was like amazed. Ryan was very busy and very helpful last night, so he did a really excellent job last night.
Let me tell you the truth. I did not forget to eat. I ordered and then forgot where I was sitting, and I think they put the food somewhere I didn't know where it was.
Ethan's in for food. Okay, listen. You guys know that I'm not a chicken or I'm not a meat on the bone girl. So I didn't eat the fried chicken, but I could just sit there and smell that box of chicken until forever.
If I cut the meat for you, you would eat it?
Absolutely not.
Actually, the only reason that I'm in right now is because hearing you guys tell Wiggins how good of a job he did last night at the debate, all I can think of is Jill Biden talking about how great
you
Joe Biden
with
did
all
in
the
debate.
tasks, Ryan.
You did so good, and everyone else did nothing.
Brad, he stayed to the end this time.
He did, and he helped me pack up, and he helped me carry stuff out to my truck.
Yeah, he left when
ridiculous.
we did.
This is
not ridiculous.
Is our out time 156?
It's
because you're long, if so.
No, Brad is on his job. If you check the private chat, you'd see it says 5850.
Oh, no, I don't have that. I don't have the ability to do that.
You definitely have it.
You expect me to do multiple things at once. You just got done telling me.
See, where you're wrong is that I expect you to do multiple things at once.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that it exists if you wanted to participate.
Well, I think last night went really well, and I think you're right. It was probably because I pitched in.
It was the cherry on top. We've got cherry pie over there and chocolate cream pie or something like that.
You got dibs on anything?
Oh, there's a coconut cream pie.
Oh, you got dibs? Okay.
I took it.
Okay.
If anybody else wants some of that, I'll consider it. But that's the pie for me, coconut cream pie.
Because the cherry looks good.
I'm eyeing the chocolate one.
Okay, I just want a bite.
Yeah, I don't want a whole
Only
piece.
if you guys
we can
feed
split
each
it.
other with wrapped around arms.
I mean, if it's good enough pie.
Yeah, how's the pie, fruity boys?
We'll do that, and then we'll also drive away in one car with a bunch of cans tied to it. Like leaving work. The back will just say leaving work.
Now, is this all going to happen? Is this all going to happen after the show, or is this just happening in hour 3?
I don't know, but Ethan, I think you can handle if you jump in here and just tell us more jokes like that about how much we are like Jill Biden congratulating Ryan for just completing the
You know what?
being upright for the time required to complete the job.
Stick around because our interview with John Roderick, we're going to replay that at 2 so that we just eat.
See? Now you're using your brain.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Ask us anything in the 2 o'clock hour. Get on the Annie Fry YouTube channel and vote. We'll be right back.
You know, there's a sign I keep in my office that reads, "Remember where you came from." Well, Mike Carter here of Carter Law Offices. We all remember where we grew up, the schools we attended, and the streets we played on, and the friends we made. The Carter family has deep roots in Missouri. There was a Civil War captain from St. Charles County who became sheriff of Lincoln County. My own grandparents had a farm down in Carter County where I spent a couple boyhood summers riding a pig, to and fro. For myself, Mike Carter, I was raised in North County, and before you ask, I went to Hazelwood West High School. Growing up, my parents taught me that if I studied and worked hard, good things were sure to follow. And like many of you, I went to Mizzou, working my way through college, bussing tables, driving for UPS. Then I graduated law school, founded Carter Law Offices, and serve now as a municipal judge and general counsel of the largest employer in St. Charles County. But I never forget North County, where I came from, and the people and places that we all remember that make us who we are. Go to MikeCarter.com and check out some interviews from some other people across the great state of Missouri.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
First debate in the books. I'm John Saucier, Fox News. Some members of the Democratic Party are worried after President Biden's debate performance last night, questioning whether or not he should actually remain their nominee. Well, the president did speak about his opponent's performance during a rally in Raleigh, North Carolina today.
I don't know what you did last night, but I spent 90 minutes on the stage debating a guy who has the morals of an alley cat.
Well, Vice President Kamala Harris responding to criticism of the president's performance, admitting he had a slow start but called it a strong finish. The latest pre-debate Fox News polling had President Biden leading the race against former President Trump for the first time in months. But again, there's some concerns. Let's go to Fox's Aisha Hosni in Atlanta for more.
We are all here talking about that one moment seen all across the world where even Democrats were wondering, what is going on?
Everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
So there was actually an audible gasp in the press room when that happened. It seemed as though the president had frozen. And that was just the beginning of what some Democrats themselves are saying was a disappointing and very poor performance.
Well, Aisha actually asked a question to California Governor Gavin Newsom. He dodged it regarding whether he might be willing or able to replace President Biden on the ticket in theory. And the Biden campaign came out with a news release this morning, highlight what they say were 50 of Trump's lies.
A campaign email this morning reads, all 50 of Trump's lies, 16 more lies than felonies, 48 more lies than impeachments. Now, this was their strategy even ahead of the debate last night. They issued a pre-debate memo with a list of, quote, important Trump lies to look out for. And this is what First Lady Jill Biden said at a watch party right after the debate.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts.
And that's Fox's Jackie Heinrich. America's listening to Fox News.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-653-1188. 800-653-1188. Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Through our Friday afternoon, 92 with a mix of clouds and sunshine. I'll keep a chance of a spot storm. Tonight, clouds, scattered showers and thunderstorms after midnight. 78 for the low. Saturday, scattered showers and thunderstorms, some strong. Anytime Saturday. Otherwise, partly sunny skies, warm and humid, 94. Sunday, sunny and wonderful, 83. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
You've listened to 97.1 FM Talk. You've heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial and Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple as the financial expert on the station for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend right here on 97.1 FM Talk. And you can talk to Doug Voss directly. Here's his number. Call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
Do you have multiple years of unfiled taxes or owe more than $8,000? The tax attorneys at Allies Tax Relief are your ally and will stop the IRS from garnishing your wages or them levying your bank account. Call 800-230-5174.
The renegade national newsman himself is joining the lineup at 97.1.
This is Lou Dobbs, and throughout my career, I've always said what I mean and meant what I said.
Lou Dobbs is here.
Sunday at 5 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
They got someone here knows what they're talking about.
Left up, left right. Gotta love this American ride.
Like, you need to take some time to get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. We had John Roderick in the last hour to talk about Jerry's Cafeteria, and I heard his story. Jerry's Cafeteria, a generationally owned cafeteria in Granite City, has been struggling. He says it has to do a lot with inflation, and so I wanted to help him out. We brought him in. I'm going to be there 3:30 to 5 on Tuesday, and I would love for everybody to come out and say hi and grab some food. I did not know that he was going to bring food in, and maybe I'm going to be at Jerry's Cafeteria before Tuesday. That food is so good. The mashed potatoes and the mac and cheese are freaking amazing. You guys had some of the fried chicken.
Yeah. The fried chicken was really good. You know how wings have gotten so small in most places where you order them? Those weren't wings, but they were the drummies. They were very meaty. Yeah. And they were good. I think they were double baked or something.
I don't know. Right
as he was leaving, he said
the
something.
potatoes were twice baked potatoes.
There was something else he said, though, too.
But he did say,
He
I don't
didn't
know.
double bake the chicken.
He might have.
He didn't.
Yeah.
We're special.
No.
That's not what he would
that
do.
chicken was not baked.
It was perfect.
Maybe he makes it once most of the time.
Don't make presumptions about John and Jerry's Cafeteria, because whatever he's doing is exactly right.
Yeah, it was really good.
I am eating coconut cream pie. Amazing.
Yes, you are.
You?
I had 2 pies. I'm still eating the cherry. I ate half of Brad's pie also, which he allowed. I didn't ask.
You had half
I
of
didn't
the
even
chocolate
consider the
pie.
fact that maybe you commandeered it.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't called Brad's pie.
No.
It was the chocolate pie.
Yes.
And you
I had
kind of called it.
Had
so
half a slice.
yeah.
You want to ask us anything?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to ask me nicely. Don't make me beg here.
Ask me anything.
Tell me the truth! I'm going to start with a grading of the debate last night. I have several things here, and we're going to give it on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. We're going to go around the room. So each thing is going to get 3 scores. We'll do another question, and then I'll come back and tell you what the averages of the scores were.
Say it again. 1 is the best, 5 is the worst.
God dang
vice
it,
versa. Just want to make sure.
Do you ever want 1 star or 5 stars? Do you ever want 1 piece of candy or 5 pieces of candy? Let me simplify.
I guess it depends on the candy, but if it's like sweet tarts or something, I'll just take 1. I don't want to waste it.
Frustrated.
She's like, Brad, you got the show. I'm going upstairs to watch the news.
I'm going to finish this pie in silence and see what happens.
So if it's Milky Way, we're going
5. 5.
Okay.
5 is good.
Okay, 5 is good. Okay.
5.
Just making sure. And we're talking about the debate, not candy. I'm ready.
John.
5.
John Candy.
Oh. I thought you wanted me to rate John from Jerry's Cafeteria.
10 out of 10. He was great. Let's start with no audience. The rule of no audience. Ryan?
4.
Brad?
I'm going to say 3.
I am going to say 5.
Okay.
Muted mics.
5.
5.
That's the way I was talking with, I think, Ethan this morning. And it was evident that that's probably the way debates will be after this because it went very well.
People criticize it and they're like, it wasn't as much of a debate. And I'm like, if by debate you mean childish slap fight the entire time and arguing, every single time we have one of those, everybody is like, that wasn't even a conversation. That wasn't about what the American people want. That was just bickering and fighting. So knock it off. We actually got to hear from these people, and it exposed a lot. Mm-hmm. And Donald Trump had to contain himself. So I thought it was good. So fives all around.
And they could debate. That's the thing, is if somebody said something you disagreed with, you didn't have to just leave it. They would go back to it. In fact, I thought they did it too much.
It's interesting. If you watch like an Oxford debate or something like that, we've seen like Ben Shapiro and others do these. They go up, they deliver their opening statement, then they sit down. So you don't have both debaters on at the platform at the same time, and they don't interrupt usually. I mean, sometimes Nancy Pelosi yells from the crowd, but
you digress.
CNN.
I digress. 4.
I'm gonna give them a 5.
I thought their questions, they did a really good job with the presentation, asking a question, stepping back, not getting involved, and a lot of that was the things you just mentioned with the crowd and the mic. But I thought that some of their questions were slanted toward their side, but their presentation of them was good.
I'm going to give them a 5. And the reason why I am okay with a slanted question in a context like that is that it gives the person who's answering that question the ability to respond to something that people are hearing be phrased the same all the time over and over. So a slanted question in the hands of a objective moderator that isn't out to get somebody in a subjective way, I think is a good thing. So to me, it's kind of like gun control. It's not the question. It's who uses it how. And so I think last night, that's the way. We did not know yesterday that they were going to handle it that way. My anticipation was that it was going to be much different. I thought the overall presentation of CNN, top to bottom, it looked great. It sounded great. It was very informative. The moderator specifically.
Yeah, 4. So it's almost same reasons because. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to give them a 5. I think that, I know you didn't like the slanted questions. I think the questions that they asked needed to be asked. I like what Annie said, will you commit to the results of the election if everything is... She even said if courts, after through the courts and everything, would you accept the results of election? He's like, yeah, I shouldn't have to answer that. I think that was a good way of asking the question that everybody wants to hear. Same thing with the J6 stuff. People need to ask those questions. And I like how whenever they just let the person answer, They didn't interrupt the answering of the question. They just waited. And then if they didn't like that, they said, again, the question was this. Can you answer that? I thought they did. That was far exceeded any of my expectations for them.
I'm a 4. I went in thinking it'd be a 1.
Yeah, me too.
So pretty dramatic shift there. The debate watch party at Dave & Buster's.
Man, I had a blast. So I'm going to give it a 5. The room was fun. It was respectful. Dave & Buster's did a good job. Anything we needed, they were there. You know, if we had an audio problem or whatever, real quick. Oh, yeah, we'll fix that. You know, it was great.
Yeah, I give it a 5.
I'm a 5, and the room was packed.
Yeah.
We knew that we were going to have standing room only going into it, and the people who showed up, everybody was so excited to be there. Y'all show up early. And everybody was psyched, ready to go. We had Whiskey Dickerson out there. The food was great from Dave & Buster's. They were attentive with drinks. The accommodations, everything was great.
Yeah, that's hundreds of people packed into that like overflow room that they had waitresses and waiters and bartenders just specifically for our room.
And I was bummed. If you were there last night, you understood that there's a lot of construction going on at Dave & Buster's right now. Their dining room is still open, so you can still go there, do that. You can still go do the arcade and everything. But it's about to be friggin' sweet at Dave & Buster's. And should this September 10th debate end up happening, I'm not sure if we have a deal with Dave & Buster's, so maybe I'm speaking out of turn. But if we are able to do this again and they don't have the restrictions on space due to construction, we won't have to shut off reservations. This is the thing. When you plan an event like that, we had like 5 days of open tickets, free tickets, but you had to reserve it. It was open for like 5 days, and we had to shut it down because it got so full, and we weren't 100% sure what kind of overflow we would have. And we were every day hearing from people like, can we get in? Can we get in? We're like, fire code.
And by then, I think a lot of that construction will be done. So it could be a pretty big event by September.
Overall enjoyment of the whole thing. Not necessarily just our production, but the debate, the experience, the culmination of everything.
I'm going to give it a 5, but it's been weird today because I feel, and I think you guys are saying this kind of in a way too. It feels like, man, that went well. Gosh, I hope that this is good for the country. You know, obviously we're voting for Donald Trump over Joe Biden. But it's like it was almost too perfect and you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, well, that can't have been that bad, right? That can't have been exactly what we said it should have been, right? And you're like, but it was at this moment.
Yeah, I'm a 5 on that. I'm not going to look forward and worry about what could happen, but just looking back on it, the broadcast went off without a hitch. We had 2 gubernatorial candidates for Missouri come in and speak on the radio and talk to the people. We had, a live stream that went really well with a lot of interaction. We had a great crowd, a full house. We had standing room only, but I also watched people kind of rotate standing and sitting too, which was really cool to see.
Guys are just good people.
Yeah. So 5.
It was really just Ryan. As soon as someone got up, he'd go steal their chair.
It's like the Oscars. I get paid to do that.
I am a 5. I am a 5 so much that I will admit on the air to you, and this is going to shock you, not shock you, that when I was driving home, well, first of all, when we were cleaning up, I pulled up CNN on my computer, and we were listening to CNN's coverage. That's how good I felt about the night. I'm like, we got to see what they're saying. Then, on the way home, I was flipping back and forth based on commercials between CNN and MSNBC to listen to it on Sirius. I hadn't taken in anything Fox News yet. I got home. My husband was at my son's baseball game, which was at 8 o'clock on Thursday, and it was a rain-out reschedule, so he missed the whole debate. And I told him, like, I need to decompress a little bit because we had been working all day. And I said, but I got to take in what's going on. He's like, that's fine. So I went up, got into bed, turned on the news on our bedroom TV. He ends up coming up and crawling into bed with me. And I go, the debate was, we're going to replay.
Oh, yeah.
I go, do you want to watch the debate? He's like, I don't know. I'm going to fall asleep so fast. I said, do you care if I have it on? He's like, no, that's fine. I'll listen to it. And then he ended up watching maybe 45 minutes to an hour of it. I watched the whole debate over again.
No kidding.
And then I watched all of Fox's coverage after the debate, and I was still watching coverage at 3 a.m. when they picked up with Fox and Friends first.
Oh my gosh.
I'm an idiot. That's why I was so tired when I walked in this morning.
Yeah, well, I agree.
But it was a 5. It was a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for me. Shut up.
She's going to let that go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was hoping she would.
Yeah. I am an idiot.
That doesn't surprise me. Did you catch anything the second time through that we wouldn't have known the first time? I mean, there's a room, so there's people talking and,
I wanted to know, from the debate?
Yeah, from the debate.
Oh, yeah. A lot. We were playing bingo and everything last night, and I was trying so hard to listen to things and to deliver for all of that. But to be able to consume it and kind of feel the angst that existed when Joe Biden was doing Joe Biden things. And his first answer to a question, which we didn't have volume up loud enough. Initially, that's an audio issue that got fixed right away. It was a disaster. It was out of the gate. Tumble, fumble, bumble, mumble the whole time from the very beginning, and he never recovered. Which takes me to the next thing. Joe Biden. 1 out of 5.
Yeah, I don't know how you could get him above a 1. It was awful.
Yeah. 1. And I really, honestly, I needed a 2 or a 3 from him. I needed him to be a little bit more competent so that they couldn't pull the old switcheroo.
Donald Trump.
4.
Yeah, I'm a 4 on that too.
5.
Well, for Trump, you'd say 5, but it's the same thing for Biden, where you go, well,
it is for Trump.
No, it is Trump.
It is Trump.
What did Donald Trump need to do last night that he failed to deliver on? I understand that there are things that maybe, like in hindsight, could have done this better, could have done that better, but where did he fail last night?
People don't like some of his personality quirks. If you watch later into the debate, some of those started to come out a little bit. If he had, and not the whole time.
Like which one?
The ones where he just wants to punch back and he's taking swings at things that you just like, you don't really need to, but he didn't do it a lot. So that's why I gave him a 4, but he was very close. I mean, he was very close to getting a perfect score.
Yeah, I might need to change mine to a 5.
4.5?
Yeah, we'll give it a 4.5, 4.47. Yeah,
No,
4.75.
you get
5. Let's go with the
tenths.
5.
He's rounding up to the 5.
Yeah, let's go with a 5. Because, like, everything that he said, like, even his answer on January 6th, they asked him about that. He nailed it. It was a great answer. He's like, what I remember about January 6th is, and then he said we had closed borders, or, the inflation rate.
Is that
was this.
similar to what I said on the air? Of what he should say?
No,
I need to go back and listen to what I thought
you
should say.
said that he should point out every single instance in the last 10 years where there are many of Democrats denying election results.
That was part of it, but I also I got to go back and listen.
And like, I also thought it was masterful how he handled the question about like prosecuting your political opponents. And the felon question. Whenever Joe Biden called him a felon, he's like, well, your son's that. Can you imagine what they would have done to me if I did what you did, Joe? And then he laid out the case of what Joe did in Ukraine to protect Hunter.
Jeanette says, I keep hearing Trump lied most of the time. Since you watched it twice, what do you think? This is the play, folks. If they can claim any technicality around something Donald Trump does or says, they will make it the front page headline story. And you have watched with your own eyes and listened with your own ears Corinne Jean-Pierre tell you that your eyes deceive you and that Joe Biden is 100% hard for her to keep up with because she always says, he's the president. I have a hard time keeping up with him. Like, him being the president somehow negates everything that we would watch with our own eyes this president be incapable of doing. So when it comes to lying, like, there are technicalities where he might have, botched a statistic where the statistic wasn't delivered in a specific way. And I don't know all the instances. I don't, there's not a single thing that I heard Donald Trump say last night that I thought was deceit. And all we get from the left is deceit. That's it. So Jeanette, for the people who are telling you that all he did was lie all the time, ask those people if Joe Biden is going to be the nominee in November and if they're going to vote for that guy who was on the stage last night. And if they say yes, how are you going to reason with those individuals who think they'd vote for a vegetable over Donald Trump? There's nothing Donald Trump would have been able to do last night to get those people to change their minds. All right, I'm going to tally up these scores, and then we'll do some other Ask Me Anything from the audience when we come back.
Sounds good?
Sound good?
It does. There are actually quite a few, so if you want to get your questions in, jump on now before we get back in from this break.
The YouTube live chat poll for today, is Joe Biden the Democrat nominee on November 5th? Yes or no? No! I've been telling you, it's a no! Man, last night I felt like, see? Let us know what you think. We'll be right back with more Ask Us Anything on a Friday afternoon on the Annie Fry Show.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Just something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
I want something just like this.
Stewart's American Mortgage. He's the bagel loan guy. You need to buy a house. Make sure that you talk to Stewie before you go with a lender. Let him earn your business. You'll be glad you did. When you use the bagel loan that's only available at Stewart's American Mortgage, you pay $0 in closing costs. Think of the thousands of dollars that you're going to keep in your pocket, in your savings account, so that you can make the purchase of that house and do so confidently, making a good economic decision for you and for your family. I have refied my house twice with the bagel loan and been able to secure a very low rate while rates were super low. I listened to my own advice and the advice of my friend Stewie, and I'm really glad I did. When I've talked to Stewie about my financial situation, he's told me when he can help me, and he said, you know what, Annie, I don't think this is the best avenue for whatever particular thing I was talking to him about, and he's honest with me. He'll be honest with you, too. You can trust Stewart at Stewart's American Mortgage. I certainly do. 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan for more information. NMLS number 226715.
Baseball season is heating up. With the free Odyssey app, you can get the most entertaining local coverage of your team while you're at work or on the go. Stay locked in and in the know with your favorite hosts as they bring you unfiltered takes, react to the latest team news, and talk to callers. Don't miss any of the action. Stream the shows you love live or on demand with the Odyssey app. That's AUDACY. Download it today for free.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they were very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Now, your Live Nation lineup.
Don't miss these upcoming shows. Earth, Wind, and Fire and Chicago. Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, July 10th. Santana and Counting Crows. Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, July 27th. The Smashing Pumpkins. Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, August 14th. Dierks Bentley, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, August 22nd. And Billy Joel and Sting, Busch Stadium, September 27th.
For tickets and info, hit up livenation.com.
At Neovitin, we are all about supporting your nutrition, and that's why we are excited about our new Neovitin Omega-3 supplement. Neovitin Omega-3 is formulated with 1,200 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids to help support healthy hearts. Our high-quality omega-3 fish oils are sourced from wild-caught fish and tested for heavy metals. With our convenient monthly subscription, you can get Neovitin Omega-3 delivered right to your door every month with no long-term obligations. Support your daily nutrition and sign up for a Neovitin Omega-3 subscription at neovitin.com today.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. If you're not sure who to call for air conditioning services, contact the team at Air Comfort Service. With 55 years of experience and thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust them with the comfort of your home. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Want to listen to 97.1 outside the listening area? There's an app for that. Download the Odyssey app, and one tap will turn the station on. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. So we were doing a little Ask Us Anything here. At the end of this segment, we're going to take some of your Ask Us Anything questions. I'm going to give you the scorecard for the debate last night based on our grades, 1 through 5. 5 being the best, which is easier for some to understand than others.
5 Snickers versus 1 Snicker.
Which is better?
I'll take 5 Snickers. Okay, that's best. Okay,
that's best.
I got it straight.
You guys want to start with the questions from the listeners?
Sure. I'll ask you one to start with. Dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Ooh,
depends. Okay, depends on if the chocolate
That's
is
not the right kind of chocolate.
Man, I want to say dark chocolate because I like dark chocolate, but it kind of has to be like super high quality dark chocolate for me. So I'd rather have low quality milk chocolate and high quality dark chocolate. What a complicated answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with milk chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, high quality milk chocolate versus high quality. I mean, don't get me wrong. High quality dark chocolate is very good, but I'm a milk chocolate person.
For me, if it's high quality dark chocolate or low quality milk chocolate, I'll take milk chocolate because it's sweeter.
Of course.
And there's less percent cacao. The percent cacao to me is always a dead giveaway that I'm probably not going to like it. Next one?
Yeah, keep going. I'm doing math.
How was the coconut cream pie? Ask Quick Rick.
100% A+. It's gone.
Okay.
And this is after last night getting till, what was it, like maybe 9:30 or 9:40? And it's like, I have forgotten completely to eat today. And you're like, I happen to have some wings right here. And I was like, I'll eat them. They were good.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Stomach, side, or back sleeper?
I like to sleep on my stomach, but I can do all of them. I think I do all of them. There are times where I don't move. I'm a very calm. I don't snore. I lay very still. I'm not a very floppy sleeper.
I am the exact opposite.
I bet you are.
I am
a high maintenance sleeper.
A floppy sleeper. That is a good name for it. My wife says that I look like a Muppet.
What does that mean?
Well, I asked her. I said, what does that mean? And she said, it looks as if, you take your hand out of a puppet and then you just sort of throw it on the couch. You just look like whatever the puppet landed as. That's your sleeping position.
Do you sleep with your mouth hanging open?
Yes. And apparently my arms and limbs just kind of all over the place.
Weird.
I think I'm a side sleeper.
Next one from Dawn. Will Joe accept if he loses to Trump in the election in November?
He won't know. Should ask if his people will.
Okay. Will Joe's people accept a loss to Trump in November?
Yeah, eventually.
What about voters? I think somebody asked a question like that I'll try to find here.
Joe's going to have to accept a loss to Trump before November.
Somebody asked if there. I don't know if we started, but do you think there's going to be riots if Trump wins?
Oh yes.
No, there's not going to be riots. There's going to be a lot of whining publicly in places for people to be seen. Kind of like screaming at the sky girl in the green jacket. And she wearing something green?
Yeah.
She'll be back. She'll be back. I just watched the first half of Hamilton the other night. Remember when I said that my husband and I looked at each other at dinner and we're like, we can't do this anymore. We have to go upstairs and close the door and watch TV because our kids were driving us crazy.
Yeah.
We watched the news and then we watched the first half of Hamilton.
Okay.
That's the end of that story.
All right.
But
did you enjoy
song.
it? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen the second half.
Okay.
I've never no.
First time.
Oh.
Do you know? Have you seen it?
I have not. I don't
Have you
watch
seen
musicals.
it?
At all.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say the song I was singing was from Hamilton,
Yes.
which is The Connection.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you can. You're much more satisfied with the story now.
I give that answer a
I didn't ask.
3. Very average.
Onward.
Libby asks best and worst Trump answer from last night's debate. Anything come to mind? I mean, it's kind of a big question.
Sometimes the worst is also the best, but for other reasons. The golf thing was weird, and it was like going south. And they were talking about golf, and then Biden's like, "I'm a 6 handicap," and Donald Trump goes, he basically was like, you were not a 6 handicap. That's a lie. And Biden goes, oh, no, absolutely. I'm an 8.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the hell are we doing here? But that was a lot.
He got lost in the middle of it where I'm not sure what you're trying to claim, but he said something about, I was 6. And he's, no, you weren't. Oh, I'm an 8. And vice president. You're like, what?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I thought that was like a low moment if you're trying to be like highbrow about the debate, but come on. That was fun. I mean, I think that the best thing that Trump did last night?
Best answer,
Whatever.
whatever.
Do you guys have an obvious one?
I've got one
I
that
do.
I would say. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I think it was whenever whenever Joe Biden gave his rambling answer and
he said,
and he goes, I don't know what he said, and I don't think he knows either. Anyway, and he moves on with his question. I thought that was brilliant.
That's what I was going to say. I didn't know if that was more of a response than maybe an
I
answer.
think that
But I think
counts.
if that counts, I'm right there too.
I'm right with you on the golf. I thought that was the lowest moment of I mean, it was entertaining, but
Yeah.
I don't need entertainment out of this anymore. I want somebody who's going to run the country well. That looked like vintage, kind of petty Trump, and Biden too, for that matter. And I was like, oh, don't go here. You've had a good job. Don't go there. But I thought the best answer is one that Now, this may be a talking point that I've just not picked up on, but you know how Trump, especially in 2016 when he was new to the whole thing, he was saying stuff that nobody had really talked about. The tariff stuff and NATO and some of the ways that we do business and things. He was saying stuff that other politicians just never address. He had one of those last night that I was like, dang, that's a great point. Nobody's saying that. He said, listen to me. If you elect this guy, or really any Democrat, for the next 4 years, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid are all going to go bankrupt. So if you want to save them, do not vote for a Democrat because they're allowing so many people to come into this country and use our social services that they're going away.
And I believe Jake Tapper followed up on that with a question to Biden about them. It's set to be insolvent in this many years. What will you do to fix that problem? And the best answer Biden had was, I'm going to tax the rich people.
Yeah, it was just nothing. So I thought that was actually his best answer because it was one of those lines of thinking that I had not considered that he brought up. Next one. What is something you've always wanted to learn? Ooh, that's another big question.
I've said this before, but I've always wanted to be a runner. And I've been able to get myself to that point one time really well during COVID and one other time since then. But I just don't. I don't have the time to commit to doing it enough to where, because once you get into it and you're doing it, it's much easier to do. The getting into it is the hard part. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Do you have something?
I've always really wanted to know and learn to do things like practical handyman type stuff, drywall, and what you just nailing things and
Do you think
whatever. And I'm so whenever I try, Whenever I try to nail things, it doesn't go well. I don't know why. Even here around the office.
Brad.
The one thing I'd like to learn is I'd like to learn how to fly a plane. I think that would be really cool. It's one of my bucket list items. If I ever come into a windfall of cash of some sort or whatnot, I'm probably going to go take lessons and get my pilot's license. I would love to do that, and I would love to be able to own a plane, and then it's like, oh, I want to go to Gulf Shores, and then just flight plan, get in my own plane, and fly there.
Do you have any desire to do that?
Fly?
In a plane, not just,
I mean,
Peter.
yeah, like super power fly, yes. Plane fly, not so much.
I have no desire to fly a plane.
If
I feel like I have a certain understanding of how me trying to fly a plane is going to end.
Yeah, it's not going to go well. I would say if I ever get a huge windfall of cash, I also would like to fly, but it would be by my own propulsion.
Are you going to buy that?
You get real gassy.
Oh, gosh. No, a windfall of cash turns into a plane that somebody else who's a pro flies, and I take naps in the back.
I was going to say, it turns into buying Brad flying lessons so he can fly your plane.
Okay, maybe last one if we have time. Here we go. Who will the Dems blame if they lose to Trump in November? Ask Katie.
Who will the Dems blame if they lose to Trump in November? Probably Trump.
Do you think they'll blame him for being like deceived? Will it still be the same thing? He's a liar. He tricked everybody. I mean, what will be the line?
I can't imagine being like, look at how much he's tricked everybody when there's like 2 networks that will even allow Donald Trump to speak for himself.
Yeah.
I think they're ridiculous enough to blame the media. They didn't cover him properly. They should have been covering his rallies so that people see how crazy he is.
They're going to blame Joe Biden. The House of Cards is coming down. And if you've watched House of Cards, do you remember how that ended? It was with the wife becoming the president. I feel like I was just watching, we got a million TVs in here, and I was watching Jill Biden walk out at this rally that we played a little bit of a clip from before. She's closer to the camera than he is, and she's got the wave down, and she's got energy that she's exuding that overshadows Joe Biden. I think she's afraid of what is about to happen here. She's not only going to no longer be the first lady, she's going to be relegated to the basement of politics historically. She is a horrible first lady. She's the worst. Is there a worse first lady that you could think of? I mean, that maybe somebody who studied history is like, oh, Annie, rah, rah, rah. But nobody is looking at what Joe Biden is doing and not looking at Jill going, what is wrong with you? Like, what vile kind of person are you?
Yeah, if I had to choose worst first lady, she's way up there, but I may go with Hillary Clinton.
Dan says Hillary, but she wasn't. I would almost argue that when Bill Clinton got elected, Hillary got elected with her. She was an activist. It's like she was a known quantity. Jill Biden is doing this to the country because she wants to be the first lady. At least that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, the results of our scorecard for the debate. It's not looking too bad, guys. We'll have those and the results. Today's YouTube live chat poll. Is Joe Biden the Democrat nominee on November 5th? We'll be right back.
So that's right, dude, meet me at the bleachers. No principals, no student teachers. Both of us wanna be the winner.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
That's right, I'm the last one standing and never one bites the dust.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-699-1059. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-699-1059. That's 800-699-1059.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-210-4298. 800-210-4298. 800-210-4298.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission, license number DC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
Experience the beauty of custom-crafted windows that enhance your home's aesthetics and energy efficiency. Look no further than Infinity from Marvin, proudly brought to you by Lakeside Renovation and Design. Why choose Infinity? These windows are not just strong, they're 8 times stronger than vinyl, providing unmatched security for your home. Plus, with Lakeside's expert installation, you're guaranteed precision and perfection. Visit our showroom or call Lakeside Renovation and Design today. Elevate your home with Infinity from Marvin, where strength meets style.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been injured in a car wreck, you need the best. Let us make your case our cause. Car accident? Call Onder Law for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
Let's find out the results of the YouTube live chat poll today. Is Joe Biden the Democrat nominee on November 5th? Yes or no? Still time to get your vote in on that. We'll give those in about 10 minutes or so. YouTube live chat poll, is Joe Biden the Democrat nominee on November 5th? It is 2:46. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly, Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We're going to get to the results of today's YouTube live chat poll. Is Joe Biden the Democrat nominee on November 5th? Yes or no? Real quick, Ryan. No, not you. Brad, what do you think?
Thank you. I appreciate getting to go first this time.
Yeah.
I don't think he is.
And you've been there.
I've been there for a while. I'm there for a different reason now. So before I thought it would be something like the man is fading. I thought it would be something physical, something medically related. I think they're just going to move him on out.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. But yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
Ryan?
My position on this is becoming less and less confident. I still think he's going to be the nominee.
God, I hope so.
You gave me percentages. You said you were what?
I said I used to be a 90, 95%. I'm an 80 now.
Ethan, do you have an opinion on this question?
Me and Wiggins had a conversation about this morning, and because after last night and after the panic from...
Were you able to watch the whole debate last night?
I went back and I watched probably an hour of it.
Okay.
And I saw what intrigued me so much was seeing all over Twitter how much Democrats were panicking
Yeah.
about
You're
Biden's
like, I
performance.
gotta
was like,
know.
oh my gosh, I have to watch it if like everyone's freaking out this much. Originally, just based off of that, I'm like, well, if there's a way to get him out, they're going to find a way, right? But I don't know. After my conversation with Wiggins this morning, it sounds like there's a pretty good chance it's going to be really difficult to be able to get him out. So as of now, I think I'm going to lean with he's going to be the guy for the Democratic Party.
I don't think he's going to be the nominee at all, and I don't think it's that complicated. I don't think it's difficult at all to do it. I think what it is incredibly risky. But what percentage chance do you give Joe Biden beating Donald Trump in November right now?
35.
Wow, it's high.
Yeah, I was gonna say 10.
Ethan?
I would say probably around 10.
1 out of 10 chances? Yeah. In my mind, that involves something happening to Trump along the way that incapacitates him. That guy cannot beat Donald Trump. And I know people are like, oh, don't say that. Like, he can't beat Donald Trump. If you want to talk about things getting screwed around or whatever, okay. But Joe Biden is not the candidate. Joe Biden is the dream candidate to go up against if you're Donald Trump. Like, you can't even believe that this is the guy that you've got to beat. So everything that makes swapping out that nominee complicated has to also be weighed with, it's a certain loss with Joe Biden. They're not going to go with a certain loss.
Not if they think that the stakes are as high as they keep screaming about them being.
Yeah, that's my opinion. But that has been consistent for years. So real quick, I'm going to go over our scores for, we did 1 is the worst, 5 is the best. The no audience rule, we gave together collectively a 4.
Okay.
Muted mics, 5. I loved it.
Yeah.
Should always be that way in the future. We were all 5s. CNN, we gave a 4.6 out of 5 overall, which I think if we would have been looking at these yesterday before the debate and said, this is what we're going to score it, we would be like, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Moderators, 4.3.
Okay.
The debate party last night, 5s all around. Our overall enjoyment, 5. Joe Biden, overall, 111. So he averaged a 1.
Yeah.
And Trump was 4.5.
Okay. I don't think that's way off of America. You know, I mean, we're 3 conservatives on a conservative talk show, but I don't really think we're skewing anything by those results.
What do you think would be the biggest disagreement out of all of those numbers from any sort of group within America? You think it's Trump, probably?
Trump.
And what's the biggest reason? Because of the alleged lies people are saying?
People just predetermine him to be a certain kind of person, and breaking that facade is an incredibly difficult challenge, which is what, in my opinion, as I've been saying, what he needs to do to have a resounding, too big to rig victory in November. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people talking very complimentary towards CNN and Data Bash and Jake Tapper.
I have too. I have not heard Trump change the narrative on Trump from last night. I don't think he did a bad job, though.
I think he did.
But I don't hear what I wanted to hear was people in the middle go, oh, he was a little different. I haven't really heard that.
That sort of change for somebody that has that much vitriol toward him, that's going to take some time. You're not going to hear that in the day after. I have heard negative things from CNN about CNN, but it hasn't been from the conservative side. Like I've seen tweets of people on Twitter like, you cannot, like, these moderators are ridiculous. I don't care about neutrality. You can't let him get away with this sort of thing. At some point, truth matters more than neutrality and blah, blah, blah. So I have seen that. I think there might be a little bit of disagreement, but it ain't going to be the kind of disagreement that you would expect.
I think that we are fully loaded against Trump as a society. And every time that Trump gets up like this, he gets to take rounds out of the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And he might have taken a round out of the chamber. He certainly didn't put any more in or fire his own. He didn't shoot himself in the foot at all.
No, not at all. One of the things that I think, if you're talking about taking rounds out of the chamber, he did very well of saying, look, you guys know that you just can't beat me fair and square. So you're trying to come at me with all your lawfare. I thought that was, and it's pretty much all he said. He didn't go deep on it. That's all he needed to say.
His best attribute on this debate was the rope-a-dope. He didn't get in Biden's way. He didn't seem real bombastic. He would say his piece and then he would just step back. Like his biggest squabble that I saw was whenever he squabbled about golf. I was like, okay, I'll take that. I mean, if you would have told me
It's
that.
funny to me that was like specifically offensive to Donald Trump.
Oh my gosh, that was like the one thing that made him lose it. Oh, it was the funniest thing. I mean, he like starts leaning over, laughing.
You
like,
kidding
out of
me?
everything, he was called a sucker, a loser,
Yeah.
and then he says 6 handicap, and Donald Trump can't breathe.
Yeah. There was a literal line in there. We were talking about bingo cards, and we were trying to keep up with everything last night, and I did not have sex with a porn star on the bingo card. He handled when Biden went there, Trump handled that so well. I kept saying in the back of the room at Dave & Buster's when Biden was just getting nasty, I kept going, stay.
Yeah.
Stay.
Yeah. Easy.
Stay.
Hold.
You're doing great. Stay. Heel.
Oh, there was a bit that we talked about last night at that same time that we didn't end up doing today. There's still a minute left.
The idea.
Starting everything that you would say that I was going to come back with the idea, because that was the first 2 words out of Joe Biden's mouth every single time.
Sometimes multiple times in a row.
The word just constantly changed. That was after that. But I mean, even I noticed that this morning. I talked to Ryan about that this morning. I mean, it was flabbergasted, unbelievable, unacceptable. It was funny. It's very, even his voice too is very. Oh man, it's so fragile.
All of his tics, all of his crutches, and we all have them. If there is ever, if the studio is burning down in here and nothing is functioning, and my job is to pretend like everything is okay, but it's not okay. So you would say a mostly peaceful broadcast.
Fiery.
I will go back and listen to coverage of that, and I will find all of my crutches, because it's the things that I say when I'm not thinking about what I'm saying, because I'm paying attention to other things. Joe Biden has a lot of things he's saying when he's not thinking, because he's not thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And we heard that over and over and over again last night. I can't imagine being his wife watching that happen. And then having the balls to go out there and be like, you finished all the questions. Hooray! Like psychopath lady. No, nobody is there with you on that.
Those are some serious Jill balls she's got.
Dr. Balls to you.
Yeah, sorry.
Dr. Balls.
My bad.
It is your bad. The YouTube live chat poll. This Joe Biden being the nominee, when we first started asking this, was a yes. It was a majority yes, right? Mm-hmm. And the last few times we've done it, it's tilted a little bit in my favor of the no.
Oh.
We have 292 votes on today's poll. 70% of you say no.
Oh, you all wait and see. Wait and see.
Ryan, I want you to be right for once.
Okay. We agree.
Thank you for being with us today. We appreciate it. The opportunity to broadcast to you every day is a gift to us, and we're blessed to be with you. And consider coming to see us at Jerry's Cafeteria on Tuesday, 3:30 to 5. I don't get anything out of it except for an amazing lunch. That food was so good. Jerry's Cafeteria next Tuesday. Mark Reardon here next.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. RAMP.com/free.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle. Unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Jewels on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches. Bring your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Call them at 314-752-5000. That's 314-752-5000. So if you need some extra